It's Clobberin time! Yeah. Yes. And yes. I think yes. Let me know. How do I know? And who cares? Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're hearing me all right. I will have no way of knowing that unless someone tells me, because that's how we roll over here. But I want to say hello and welcome to Clobberin Times, issue number 48 / actual numbering 748. Some open, a little bit of open geek silliness like we did last night. So last night we had a distinguished and an extraordinary visitor by the great name of the name of the great and the great name of Stone Loki, the great Stone Loki. My good buddy Loki is extraordinary, and I thank him so much for being here with me last night, above and beyond the call, my friend. And of course, I was on his show earlier, Loki's 7 Kinds of Mischief, and had a lot of fun, of course, with the gang there, as always on Tuesday nights, which was let's see, it is Loki, myself, the great fat Steven Seagal, and the extraordinary, amazing 24/7 Fusion Media, another great buddy and an extraordinary comic book collector, and had a wonderful time there. Let's see who has popped in tonight, of course. My buddy Tim Hayes, a great pal, and it's great to see you here, sir. I'm honored to see you in here. And of course, Cardinal Sin, my friend, how are you? It is great to see you, sir. Oh my goodness, hey, old Paulie. All right, man. It is Paulie of Latino Slant, an extraordinary channel that I've been made friends with a while back now when I came on YouTube, and just good to see you there, buddy. Please, of course, check out his channel in the description. It links to his channel and many others in the description below. If you have not already subscribed to and supported Latino Slant, please do. And of course, please check out Retro Blasting and Loki and all those other channels too, and the Valkyries and all those wonderful people. Their channels links are in my description below, as always. And please check them out. Like I said, my good buddy Cardinal Sin, it's great to see you, sir. Let's see who else has popped in. Oh, I'm sure others have, or I hope they will. Maybe they will. Well, hey, man, I'm glad you stopped by, buddy. I hope we get a chance to talk soon, man. And, of course, he's got a lot of stuff coming up. And, of course, I got some things coming up as well. Thursday night. Let's see. I should put the thing up there, huh? Yeah. Here we go. What are the worst movies of all time? Well, how should I know? It's a subjective thing, right? Again, I hope you guys, let me know if you guys are hearing me, by the way, if you would. It's a subjective thing, but again, a bad movie is one thing. You know, again, it's low-hanging fruit for, Plan 9 from Outer Space, Robot Monster, but that's not what we're talking about here. You know, Man Knows the Hands of Fate. Tim Hayes is horrible, but I don't hate those. I mean, they're bad, but we're not going to do bad movies because, again, like I always say, this kind of low-hanging fruit. It's easy to pick on the bad movies. What are movies that were intended, though, to be mainstream, and in some cases, a lot of people like, but you just personally don't like them? Yes, Cardinal Sin, absolutely. Cardinal Sin, we will be talking. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to talking to you, my friend. And again, I'm very honored to have been asked, and I'm looking forward to being with you. I think you're going to talk to Loki soon, too, from what you're telling me, from what I've heard, if that's true. But, okay, sure, there are bad movies. The general consensus is, most people would say, yeah, that's bad. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of arguments from people about some of those films. But are there movies out there, even if there's some of them that are popular and other people like, that you cannot stand, that you just personally hate? That's why I affectionately refer to it as a hate list. I don't mean that in a really horrible or mean way. But I mean it in a it's just you personally, you can't stand it. You don't like this movie for whatever reason. Well, my good buddy Flash from the old BTR days, and we did this a good while back, and our buddy Jobber, who is going to be there, he said, asked us to redo it since it's been a long time ago since we've done that topic. So Thursday night, I believe it's going to be 9 Central. Mark with a C. Hey, man, good to see you. Good to see you, Mark with a C. Oh, cool. Loki's going to be on. Good. Excellent, Cardinal. But yes, Thursday night, 9 Central, my good buddy Flash and I are going to redo it. And, looking back at my old list, this one's going to be vastly different. Do you change that much in 6, 7, 8 years? I don't know. Priorities may change a little bit. Of course, other stuff came out. We got a lot of garbage coming out. So again, there will be things on our list. Like I said, get ready to be triggered. Here's the poster from it, if you want to call it that I made just for the hell of it. So I thought it'd be fun to do this again, because Jobber, who's always been such a cool dude and a great friend of the show, thought it would be fun for us to do this again. So we shall. And look, Mark with a C, you can guarantee that's going to be that. That's a movie that will be mentioned. Let's see. Cardinal Sen says, I actually have Draco Argentus later tonight. For Into the Fringe, and kind of like an Exozone thing, around 12:30 on my channel. Oh, is that going to be live there? Great, man. That's fantastic, Cardinal. He's a cool dude. I think I've been on some streams with him before, I believe. I think, if I'm thinking of the right person. So that's fantastic, man. Absolutely. So yeah, get ready to be triggered. There will be some movies that will, no doubt, people will go, oh, how do you go? Can you hate that one? But I don't know. I'm sure everyone has at least a couple of films that they don't like that are generally well liked by a lot of people. You might have some, I don't know. Yes, he is a smart dude there, from thinking of the same individual. Okay, well, Cardinal Sin, that's excellent. Anyone out there, by the way, please, and you know what, Cardinal, let me see if I can find a link to your channel, because I think I forgot to put it in my and I will add it to my list later to have it in my description below, Cardinal. But hang on a second here, if I can find you. See if I can find your channel so we can get a link up there. I can't find a link off the top of my head, but I will try to find one. Tell everyone how to find your channel, so I can tell everyone how to find your channel. Oh, you DM'd it to me? Oh, hang on, let me see. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Let's see. You did DM me, did you? There you are. It says, here's my channel link, but I don't see a link there, sir. If you could DM that to me again, I'll put it up and put it in the chat there, because I don't see it. You did say that, but I can't. No link showed up, so I don't have one card. So if you can get one to me, buddy, I will put that up there. Yes, sir, I will. So yep. Mark, X-Men 3 would be on my list, but that's an easy one. Yeah, but again, that's a good one to put up there. I don't know if it'll make my list necessarily, but it will make a lot of people hate. A lot of people hate X-Men 3. You're not alone on that one, sir. Yeah, it was tough to search it that way, but I am subbed to you. But if you can get me that link, if you can shoot that link to me, because I didn't, for some reason it didn't come through when you sent it to me. So let's see if it'll, let's see if we can get that from you. Well, when you're able to, no hurry, just whenever you can get it, and we will, I'll put it up there for you there, my friend. Yeah, excuse me. Excuse me. You never really know when there's a good night to do the late night streams. I know I'm doing 2 in a row this week. I'm still trying to settle. I've been here since April, and it's tough to settle on a day. But I'm doing a lot of Saturdays, and this Saturday, of course, also doing the show. It'll be my top 10. My friend Carlos and I will be doing our top 10 favorite Legionnaires, top 10 favorite members of the Legion of Superheroes, and that will be fun, sir. It will be fun for us. I hope there are a few Legion fans out there that I hope that we might find it fun as well. So we will see. What else? So has anyone? Let's see. Has anyone out there been seeing what's going on? Oh, you sent it again? Let's see. Oh, there you go. There you go, bud. All right. Here. Gotta get this link for Cardinal here. And I'll try to remember to put it in my description below for next time from now on, which I often do. Okay, well there you go. Now I got it. All right. Okay, everyone. Let's see here. Whoops. I'm not a great typer because I'm reaching way over. Oh, man. There we go. All right. All right, everyone. Now, please, if you have not, and did that link work? Let me know if that link's any good. Let's see here. All right. See if the link shows up in there. There you go. There you go. All right, Cardinal Sin, my friend. Hopefully that link is good. Please, anyone who has not, please go and subscribe to my buddy Cardinal Sin, his YouTube channel. And, of course, he is on tonight. Thanks, Mark. See, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's get him some subs. I mean, we're all trying to get ourselves off the ground and get some subs around here. And we all, he's just getting started. And he is going to have a lot of fun with that because this is a fun thing to be doing. And so, yeah. It is great. And let's see here. I hope, again, one of the reasons I really scheduled this show, I will admit, because I already did really like open thing last night and had so much fun talking with Loki again. It was so cool. And I hope he will come back on again. I was definitely not going to bug him to get him to come on tonight. If he would have, it would have been fantastic. But I just feel bad asking somebody. I mean, I'm such a busy dude and stuff. He doesn't get a lot of sleep, so I didn't want to bug him about it. But I would love to have had him on again, and I hope, I'm sure he will come on again. I forgot to ask him. I kept forgetting to mention to him. I've got a bunch of topics. Okay. And that's the thing. This is just an open stream. But one of the reasons, again, like I said, I scheduled this tonight. I got a new microphone. I'm hoping I sound better. I don't know. I'm hoping I sound better. I'm going to find out, I guess, if this thing worked. Because I had kind of a lousy one before. But, so this is just, this is basically kind of just messing around, testing this and doing an open thing and talking about some things. And one of the things, Juan R. Good evening. Good to see you. Yes, long time no see. Thank you for popping in, and I really appreciate that. When you have a channel like this, it's tough not only to find, it's tough to find best times to stream. One thing that really isn't that tough for me, though, is to come up with topics. It's just tough to find time to do them all. It's tough to find time to do them all. And I have a lot of ideas, a lot of different topics I want to do. So many of them, And I hope, for example, that the wonderful Raquel Briggs will. I'm trying to get a good topic for her, for us. I would just. She likes to have a set topic. I think I would just sit here and just talk about Trek in general, just some general Trek talk. But we've done some Star Trek shows together, and I had so much fun. We will do some more. I've just got to come up with one that that works for her, and I'm going to bug her about that soon. So we can get a Star Trek topic for that. I do a lot of comics Saturday nights. A lot of the times I do comics on Saturday nights, a comic book specific topic. Some of the ones coming up fairly soon, other than the Trek show, I'm hoping my good retro blasting buddy Michael French and I will be doing a show soon, about a Doctor Who show soon, because he is just if any of you have not been to Retro Blasting, by the way, it's one of the great channels. It's truly amazing. If you are, age doesn't matter that much, but if you are fond of the 80s, and I love the 80s, but if you were a child of the 80s in particular, my buddy Tim Hayes, he knows that. He's a Retro Blasting fan. They got a great channel up there where he of course, reviews and/or talks about the cartoons and the toys and things of the 80s. And many other parts of pop culture. And he does toy restorations, he does toy reviews, he does cartoon reviews. Many other things. He's been doing it for almost a decade here, and he has, again, just an extraordinary channel. And Mark, hey man, what's up, buddy? I'm glad you popped in. Let me know if you want to come hang out. And Retro Blasting is just extraordinary. So again, the links in the description. If you have not checked out Retro Blasting, my buddy Michael French there has a fantastic channel. Both Michael, I'm friends. Both are my dear friends. He and his beautiful wife, Melinda, they're just fantastic, and love them to death. And I miss them. I haven't been able to see him in a long time, but in person. But the channel is a good way to see him. And of course, Michael will be, will hopefully become. We're getting together soon to do another show. We've done a lot of shows together over the years. We've been doing shows together since 2011. And he's always a great guest. So hopefully we'll get that done. And soon, I hope. Let's see here. Let's see. Okie doke. Like that. Sorry, I have a little. But yeah, just shout out, Mando, if you want to come in and hang out, man. Where was it? So yeah, Retro Blasting is a great channel. Oh yeah, but I'm going to have him on there. Of course, I'm planning some other things I'm going to do with the History of Starlog magazine soon. And where comics are related, I'm going to be doing a lot more comic stuff. Comic stuff like, well, for example, what is it? Comic book fanzines, the history of those, things like that. Old stuff. I'm old school. Things covering some of the older things that people don't do. And so, yeah, I got a lot of topics I want to do. It's just fitting them all in and getting, find someone to do the topics with and things like that. That's the key thing. I love Starlog. So let's see. Well, I'm sorry. I missed. Sometimes I miss these chats, folks. We'll look back at them. On my daily show, I come up with 5 to 10 topics with my rotating co-host. Do a little pregame and let it roll. Just fun conversations like you do. Well, Cardinal, that's the way to do it, man. I like a fun, free-flowing conversation. Yeah, but like tonight, again, the things like tonight are just kind of open geek. Last night when I had Loki on, he and I had not had a chance to just sit and talk, just the two of us for a while, and so that was pretty cool. It was such a good time getting to talk to him about that, and I hope we do it more, like I said. And sometimes I'll just come on and just, have somebody hang out with me, no matter how many, and we'll just kind of roll with whatever's going on out there, or just, whatever's going on, or even it doesn't have to be something that's going on, just be some kind of geek topic out of the blue, I guess, Let's see. Well, Mark sounds good. Okay. So you said this mic is sounding okay then, guys? Because I'm not, I have not liked the way I have sounded with my other one. Oh, well, thanks, Cardinal. I appreciate that so much, man. I really do. Thank you. So it means a lot to me, man. Just still kind of just getting started on this platform here. Yeah. I'm just concerned. I'm hoping this mic gets better because every time when I've gone to listen to myself with this last night, the mic that I've had, I don't like the way it sounded. I just didn't like it. So wanted to get another one. Oh, well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I have been concerned. So let's see here. I had been concerned about that. Let's see, trying to find. All right. Mando, if you're out there, man, because I promised you this last night when I finally saw that you were out there, or you were looking. Let's see here. I have, if you're able, no pressure, but if you feel like popping in to say hello and hang out, Mando, I sent you that one there. I sent you that link there. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. This mic that I just got, my son got it for me with the Christmas thing there. And you know how you see a lot of these people podcasting with these boom things, that their mics on and everything. Well, this one came with that, but we couldn't. It wouldn't hook the clasp for it, or the clamp wouldn't fit on the desk that I have. It's ill-fitting for that, so I just have it, and it doesn't come with the stand like some of them do. But hey, I've got it resting on my big gigantic Superman cup with a cape on it, and it kind of works kind of cool. I like it like this even better. It's just, I don't know. It's not hanging and I have to worry about it hanging all over the place, taking up a lot of room. I don't know. This kind of works. I like it. I like it a lot. So, anyway, I was later, as I've said, of course, on Tuesday nights, I'm a regular on the great Loki's show. And I was hanging out with him and, of course, Fat Steven and 24, and they had a great crowd there. We were talking about some stuff. Some of the stuff that we're talking about. Let's see. What? Oh, yeah. let's see here. Those are pretty good. Those Yeti Boom. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, that's the kind I had. I had one of those on my headphones, and it's cool. It was good. It was better than the one I'd had previously. I've been doing the other show with all those years, but I like this one better if it works out better. And I just you got to have the headphones anyway. So, well, I guess what I'll do is talk a little bit about something that was kind of going around right now. Just kind of put my 2 cents on it. Loki and I touched on it a bit last night. This kerfluffle going on between members of the Fandom Menace, which by the way, look, I know it's a loose hashtag association type thing. I love the Fandom Menace. I love what it stands for, but it's not an organized group or anything like that. It's not. Excuse me. It's not. There's no card. You're not issued a card. There's no membership or anything like that. It's an idea, and the idea is simply that a lot of people from all walks of life, from all points of view, agree on one important thing: just protect our pop culture myths from the invasion of woke politics and agenda-driven politics ruling what they are, what they do, what they produce, that have just destroyed so many wonderful IP, so many properties and things like that. But look, not all of any group is going to agree on everything, see eye to eye on everything at all. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But what I love about at least the principle of the group is that, yes, we're united on not wanting to see these big companies ruin these things by letting them being taken over by zealots and ideologues, and being used for an agenda. Doesn't mean we're all going to agree on everything, but it seems to me, and again, I suppose maybe this is, or perhaps I'm not going to say it's anecdotal per se, but I started seeing The Mandalorian has come out, and a lot of people like it, and there are people that don't, and a lot of the Fandom Menace likes it, and so I guess I don't know if a lot is correct, or much of the Fandom Menace doesn't. And I think about this sort of thing a lot. Obviously, a lot of them are fans of the EU. I mean, one thing that has united all of it, for the one thing, is that one thing, the whole Fandom Menace does unite on is how horrible the sequel trilogy destroys Star Wars. But it was pretty divisive before that, in the sense that, there were a lot of people that if you hated The Force Awakens, which I did, you weren't being a good Star Wars fan. But a lot of those people later, after the degradation of The Last Jedi, it seemed like it was a bridge too far. A lot of them changed on that a little bit. Mark C., I'm with you there. As a longtime Doctor Who fan, the last 2 seasons of Doctor Who were abominations. I agree. They were absolutely disgusting, and they're exactly what we're talking about. A show being sacrificed for what the quote-unquote woke or identity politics, instead of just making a good show. But Star Wars, but right now, there's nothing good happening in Doctor Who right now. There's nothing good happening in Star Trek right now, and pretty much nothing of any merit happening in comic books right now. But in Star Wars, you get the Mandalorian. When Mandalorian comes on, after a lot of just derision and a lot of destruction of Star Wars, and a certain pretty big section of the fan base, even ones who hated what it was going on with Star Wars, do like it. But there's still some people that don't. And look, isn't that okay? It's okay to like or not like. I think it's an okay show. I mean, again, I'm not that super excited about it, but a lot of people are. They say it makes them feel like old Star Wars, and that's fine. But even if I hated it, I wouldn't. I'd be fine with people who love it. Now, but it has to work both ways too. The people who love it need to, again, need to let people who hate it express their opinions. Hey, Vigilante Williams said, "Oh man, I'm honored to have you join me, sir. I like your channel, and I've seen you on many other ones." Let's see. Mando is solid. I don't forgive KK or Disney. I think they have something solid in Mandalorian, though. You know, I'd go along with that, sir. Yeah, I'd go along with that. Like I said, I don't hate it at all. I am critical of it, and because nothing should be beyond criticism. My only problem with any of this fight that's going on, and these disputes, is, well, just don't attack people for their opinions. Let people have their opinions. If someone makes a criticism and you don't agree with it, fine. But it doesn't make them less of a fan. Now, both sides will say that the other side is. I'm talking about, when I say sides, I mean sides of people who are fighting. I'm not fighting with anybody. Most people I know aren't really fighting with anybody. They just either like it or they don't. Now, I haven't seen any of the people who don't like or who really dislike Mandalorian really go after the people who do. I've seen them just go after the show. And there's the thing. If you hate Mandalorian or you really dislike it and you're just going after the show, fine, it's fair game. If you go after people who like it, then, other than like if it's friends and you're just joking around and having a little fun with each other or ribbing each other, that's one thing. But if you are actually going after people for, if you're going after people personally because they like it, you shouldn't do that. Now, and they say that's happened. I haven't seen it, but maybe it has. If someone's messed with you because you like it, I mean, in a bad way, other than friends messing around and they've treated you badly or called you names or whatever, that's terrible. Eric K, the great Eric K, is here. Hey, buddy. Thank you for popping in, my friend. I'm always happy to see you, buddy. Honored to have you here. But I have seen people whinging and yelling at or complaining about people who don't like it. People who like it, who say things like, well, I don't know there's no pleasing these people, or I don't know what you guys want, or this, that, and the other. And I'm not too down with that. I'm like, look, let people dislike it if they want to dislike it. Now, again, I'm not saying that they haven't had abuse the other way. If they have, then you shouldn't be doing it. But I've heard of a few people. Throwing their hands up and yelling and screaming or whatever. Or I don't know about yelling and screaming, but being upset and ranting about. They're angry with the fandom menace now, and they're leaving it. They were part of it. They leave and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't think you should do that either. Just kind of let it blow over a little bit, man. Don't let it bother you too much. Juan R. I feel that the fandom is getting big for anyone to know anyone. Yeah, it could be anyone. Everyone should be allowed to have their opinion without someone going at them. Yeah. And so if it's happening both ways or one way, I think people should just kind of cut it out. If you love The Mandalorian and you don't want to hear any negativity about it, just don't really. I mean, if someone's doing it on their channel, don't watch the channel. If you happen to see a tweet, someone saying it sucks or whatever, hey, blow it off. Don't let it bother you. Because it seems to me most people like it. I like it, okay? I'm critical, but I like it. It's fine. And if I didn't like it, I wouldn't. Other than criticize it my own way or say it my own way, I wouldn't care if you liked it. I could hate the hell out of something and not care if you like it. Well, there's a couple exceptions to that. Just kidding. But yeah, man, it's not a big deal. And there's some stuff I can't stand. There's some stuff I hate. Well, as you see, again, everyone, this is the show coming up Thursday night. This is a hate list, not a worst movies list that we're going to be doing, a hate list. Because worst movies is just, that's too easy. Plan 9 and all that stuff, like I said. So we're going to do the hate list. Movies that some people might even like I jokingly, and this is just kidding around, messing around, get ready to be triggered. Because there are going to be films on this list that some people like. Incidentally, this is going to be a geeky list of mine because a lot of them most of them are comic book movies, and probably almost all 25 are geek movies of some genre. I'm that sad. I'm not sad of an individual that I trash out. Oh man, most of the ones movies, I guess, because that's what means the most to me. My geek types of films, my genre films, and science fiction, fantasy, and/or comic books, and there are a lot of comics movies on my list, and there may be some people like. There are a couple I know people like, and I hate them. But again, that's what a list like this is. It's personal, and we're doing it for fun, and it's not meant to hurt anybody. And again, because we're friendly here, you could come in the chat, and let's say I dog out some movie that you like. You can say, "Oh, you stupid motherfucker." You could call me all kind of names, and I'll laugh because I know we're just kidding around with each other. Let's see here. I get people who hate or like Mando. Some criticisms I hear. I love the simplicity. Well, yeah, again, I'm with you on there. Plan 9 is good. Is a good movie. Plan 9 is a good movie. Bad movies to me are the ones where the sound drops out and the lighting is spotty. You must fucking be talking about Jar Jar Abrams crap now, Cardinal. Yeah. Well, Mando, I love Andrew Clavin, so that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Oh, shite. But, again, that's all I'm saying here. Oh, there's Mark with a C again. Let's see here. I stopped watching the NFL, me too, this year, and people were getting mad at me. I was sick of the politics of the games and still should tune it in. Yeah, and I should still tune in. Let me tell you something, Mark C. We're on the same page. We reach, brother. I have been, again, aside from my geek things, those who don't know me, I have been an NFL fanatic for 50 years. Particularly a lover of NFL history. But, and I've loved my team, the New Orleans Saints, through thick and thin for 50 years. I'm just, and I love NFL, the game so much. And because of the horrific politics, I'm not going to get on a political rant here, but because of the politics, I've had to give up something that I love. And I did. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. And it's a weird thing. When you've done something for 50 years that you really love and you give it up, and it's still out there, but you give it up. It hurts. It sucks. I hate, because it was not just something I watched on TV. The away games, I went to see family. I took a 35-minute drive to go to a nephew's house and hang out and enjoy the game and the camaraderie and the food and all the fun we had. And I don't get to do that anymore. They still want me to come hang out, but I feel like I'd be the party pooper because I'm the one who gave it up. And I don't judge anyone who didn't give it up. And when they were a home game, I would sit in front of my TV and scream like a maniac for 3.5 hours. That's how much I love football and my team. And without going into too many details, the NFL broke my heart by doing that. And it feels weird. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, man. I tell you what, it doesn't feel great. Cardinal, don't get you started on Abrams, dude. Don't get me started on Abrams. My blood pressure blast through the roof. Hey, Vigilante, I do, YouTube has a lot of games. I'm a big fan of NFL films. I don't know about you. And man, I still, almost every night, because there's a channel I subscribe to that puts up the snippets from the old, I mean NFL films, game of the week stuff, and highlights from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I sit there and watch those every night. I just can't get enough of them. I love, man, Steve Sable and Ed Sable were gods to me. And I love NFL films. And I watch those old, they have full games, old full games on YouTube. I love those. Do you watch soccer, Premier League series? No, I don't watch that. The only sport that I love and geek out about until this summer, was the NFL. I watch a little college football because I'm in a college town, LSU. Last year, LSU Tigers had the greatest college season of any team ever. This year, they're garbage. But I followed college. I liked other sports a little, but I don't really watch a lot of them, sir. And they were. Yeah, oh, you're a Giants fan, Mark? Well, look, man, dude, you've had some glory years. We've only had one glory year as a Saints fan. You guys have had a lot of glory, man. Let's see here. The only sports I still watch are baseball and hockey, says my buddy Mando. Mark, I want to watch b-ball, but the Nets need to get better. Yeah, but I hear you there, man. Giants fans. Look, Giants fans, you have my respect. You have a storied history, my friends. Lawrence, Kansas, where KU. Oh, yeah. Yes, KU basketball is a religion. LSU Tigers football is a religion here where I am. And again, I love NFL history, so I really respect the big, almost century-long franchises. The big ones, the Green Bays, the Chicagos, and the New York Giants. Respect them a lot. You guys, again. Let's see here. I grew up on ESPN Classic, and they used to play the classic NFL stuff. Yeah, Voice of God. Yeah, the Voice of God, John Facenda. John Facenda. The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Yeah. I can't do the voice that great, but what the hell. One of his openers back when the Steelers dominated the 70s. There are 27 teams in the National Football League, and then there are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I can't do the voice. Who can do that voice? Eric, Trojan fan. Well, they're a storied franchise. Storied school as well. Oh man, you had to do there must have been USC must have had about 8 to 10 Hall of Famers come out of there or something. Vigilante, a Lions fan. Thanks to the Patriots. You had the Bobby Lane curse with the Lions there, buddy. Vigilante, and I feel you there, man. In 2008 when I'm not trying to bring up a painful memory for you, but 2008 was 50 years after Bobby Lane left, and after they traded him to the Steelers in 58 was when the Lions had won that championship. And they said he cursed you guys. You won't win a championship for 50 years. Well, that was 62 years ago. Your day will come. Maybe not this year, man, but I wish you luck on that. Went to KU. Oh wow, I went to KU basketball camp for 4 years in a row. We had tickets. Okay. Well, yes, it's look. Hey, KU basketball is legendary, sir. It is legendary. Yep, the Bobby Lane curse, man. That was a real deal too. I know it's a geek show, but I went off into sports. I'm sorry about that. Again, look, because again, like I said, me having to give up the NFL. If you told me a year ago I'd ever do it, even though the game has been sissified and played by a bunch of spoiled brats, I had my one hero, and it was Drew Brees, and he broke my heart with some really stupid things he did. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back. And that is similar to what's happened to me with all my geek stuff, my comic books that have, because I'm old, and I've loved comic books for a long time, and all of my favorite comic book characters, as early as the 80s and into the 90s, they were being destroyed, and I love the art form. There's a rumor going around that I even, not only worked in the comic book business, but owned my own comic shop for a while. But Eric can confirm that it's all a rumor. He's going to get me for that one. But and then of course, all of a sudden, they started destroying my Star Trek and my Doctor Who and my Star Wars. If not for the Orville, I'd have nothing to look forward to, and that's going to be forever. Coming out forever, man. Sports guy is a geek, and he's intimate knowledge of the sport and history. Just as my mother is TV geek, and we're comic book geeks. Yes, I'm a TV geek for old TV. I'll tell you that. I love classic old TV, brother. Used to love the NBA. I never watched basketball much, but when I was a kid, I did watch the ABA a little bit. Down here we all loved Pete Maravich. I know that's old school there. And we love the New Orleans Jazz before they became the Utah Jazz, because all those classic jazz musicians in Utah that you hear so much about. No, it's just a rumor, Eric. You can't beat them, join them. The NFL should never ruled out the violence, neither should the NBA. Society is so soft now. 80s basketball is tougher than modern. Yeah, the only thing wrong with 80s basketball is those shorts were too skimpy, like on dudes. I'm like, good God, that's terrifying. They should make them baggier. Just kidding. But man, all those classic Larry Bird, Kareem, Magic, Michael Jordan. We didn't love all that stuff. I miss the 80s. If you miss the 80s, go check out my Retro Blasting Friends channel, because they're awesome. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun just being able to talk about this stuff. But I'm sad that I've lost football. It feels weird. And of course, they would pick. Well, they made the playoffs for the 4th year in a row. And I've tried to. I've tested myself, by the way. I've tested myself. I'll flick on a game here and there once in a while, and I can't find the love again because of what they've done, the way they politicized the NFL so badly, and some of the horrible crap they've done. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to go back, and I believe in forgiveness, but they're doubling down on it, the NFL. And I'm sick of it. And like I say, with all these other things that we love destroyed, comics and I don't know. So I guess, and look, that's kind of why, if you want to swing it back to The Mandalorian for a bit, I get why people are kind of just, look, there's not much coming out. There's nothing coming out, real hardly. And people are enjoying it. It does, have a lot of Star Wars callbacks, and it's giving you something in the Star Wars universe. I think as I said, I think the characterizations are razor thin for the main two characters in particular. But it's giving you something that calls back to Star Wars. And people, and it's not trashing characters like The Force Awakens or Last Jedi or anything. Let's see. At least the MLB is so good. I just watched the Yankees. The Yankees would get the crap together. Well, speaking of MLB, man, how about those Dodgers Latino slat? Latino slat is the real Vigilante Williamson. Yes, that's another thing. Vigilante Williamson, I'm glad you pointed that out. But Mariko Tamaki, we talked a little bit about this on Loki's show earlier, and it's been kind of made the news today. The woman who wrote we've talked about this too as well. I Am Not Starfire, the up and coming YA graphic novel from DC Scholastic, and she's written some other stuff. She's gonna be writing Detective Comics. For those not in the know, that's Batman's comic. It was, he first appeared in Detective Comics, number 27 in 1939, and it's his title. And this person is going to be writing Batman. And the thing is about that, I've been hearing things and seeing things where, Batman comics are selling under 40,000 and under 35,000 copies. Let me tell you something. Not to sound like the back in my day kind of guy, but I'm sorry, back in my day or any normal day in the comic book biz, if you had a print run lower than 80, 90,000, you were getting canceled. I don't mean cancel culture canceled. Your comic book was toast. That is right, man. I'll tell you what, because I know what it feels like, when you get a nice championship. So let's congratulate the Los Angeles Dodgers, baby. World Series champions 2020. Congrats to my buddy Paulie. Because I know, look, I only ever get to taste a championship as a fan of a team one time. And the memory is tainted now. But in the 2009 season, and then in February of 2000, in fact, February 7th, 2010, when my beloved New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl 31-17. I can't lie to you. I cried like a baby. I did. My friends were laughing at me. I was not able to go to the game, unfortunately. It was in Miami. And I had a bunch of friends over. And, man, I took the next couple of days off. I had scheduled them off just in case, because if they lost, I didn't know how I was going to deal with it. And yes, I went down to the big parade with a couple, 2 million people down there in New Orleans. It was wild. But, man, I cried. And again, at that time, even still, that's 2009, if you were a Saints fan, you were pretty sure you weren't going to live to see a championship. Yes, I feel bad for my buddy Vigilante again is telling me about, Lions fans have had it worse. Cleveland Browns fans have had it worse than us. We only had to wait 45 years or whatever it was, pretty much 40 years. Let's see. Was it 40? No, there ain't. Yeah, it was a little over the 40-year range. That's not as bad as Cubs fans had it, I guess. But I had to wait 40 years. And again, when you wait 40 years and you love a team that long, you're pretty sure, I'm not going to make it. I can tell you how many people were saying stuff like, man, I wish my dad had been around to see this. He wanted to see this so bad, or my uncle or whatever. So many people. It's just, if you love a team, it's a special thing, and it's a brutal thing. And you want to see that championship. Unless you're a Yankees fan who gets 15 championships and had 20,000 championships or whatever. It just doesn't come that often. Sometimes it doesn't come within generations of each other, a championship in the big sports, football or basketball or baseball, or even hockey. So, man, I'm glad when anybody of mine that gets to experience that, like my buddy Paulie there, it feels great when your team gets that, man. It's something, because you never know when it's coming around again. In the NFL, it's fleeting. A couple of years back, when I was still in love with my team, but the New Orleans Saints got cheated and screwed out of a trip to the Super Bowl by horrific lack of officiating in that goddamn NFC Championship game against the Crams. Absolutely screwed. And then the next year, they just blundered and lost to the playoffs in the first round like idiots. They made it this year for the fourth time in a row in the playoffs. Probably going to win the division again. And they would pick a year when I can't even watch them. I don't want to watch them, and I've fallen out of love with them. But I'm happy for my friends who still love them, who still watch. I really feel bad for Cleveland Browns fans. I got a buddy of mine who's a Browns fan. The Browns are doing really well right now. Yeah. That was probably, and I know I'm saying it because I was close to it there, Cardinal, but that non-call in that Rams game, that was cheating. That was horrible. That was the worst thing ever. And then the Rams go on and they go to the Super Bowl and can't score but 3 points against the crappy Patriots that year. They were garbage. What a garbage crap thing to happen. And I thought that was our window. Oh, there's no well, you know what? It sure felt like a fix there, Vigilante. But yeah, man, look, I hear you. Sorry. If I could find somebody that knows NFL history like me, I'd do an NFL history special show every week. And therefore, I would have to talk about the new crap. But I don't. You can go X Zone on me, bro. That's fine. Anytime, buddy. Sorry, everyone. My goddamn internet blinked on me. Sorry, everybody. I hope you're still here. My fucking internet went out. It just blinked on me. And then I was going, it's probably not going to come back on, but it did. Damn it. Now, let me know if you guys are hearing me now. If you're still there, anyway. And I'm sorry about that, buds. Yeah, what can I do? Let me know if one of you could just give me a, holler at me and let me know if I'm still on. I'd appreciate it. Oh, let's see. Mando Merc. Oh. Hey, man. What's up, man?
Not much. Figured I had some free time while I'm waiting for some videos to upload.
Oh, yeah? Well, good to see everyone. Welcome to Mando Merc here. Can you, let's see. None of us waited. I guess that means he heard me. That's going to tell me he heard me. Eric, you dang smart aleck. What's the problem? Don't make me come over there. Oh, man. Well, how are you this evening, sir?
Things could be a little better, but
yeah,
I have a little cold, but that's about it.
Everything's fine so far. Sorry about that, dude. Well, and what's up with you, man? You've been making. You say you're making some videos, or you?
Yeah, I just clipped some segments out of a live stream I did last night.
Oh, okay, cool. I wish I knew how to do that. I got to learn. I don't know how. But I'm old, and that's my excuse. I'm technically ridiculous. A ridiculous tech. I don't know which. So you would like special programs for editing and that sort of thing, or what?
I mean, I do, but I don't know how to use them.
Oh.
I just use the editor thing in YouTube.
Oh, I don't even know how to use that. But I'm encouraged to hear that. Maybe that means I can learn how to use it. So I'll hit you up some advice if I try it. I need to try it.
Marco, we have the same taste in teams.
Okay. So you are a Yankees, Rangers,
Giants
fan.
So I'm not a Knicks guy. I'm a Nets guy.
I got you. What do you guys think about the news that WWE Gals will get the bonuses? Let's see. What's this again? That WWE Gals, I don't know who's that, will get the bonuses, but Warner Brothers. Their bonuses, but Warner Brothers is not honoring anyone else's deals. Oh, is that like the? I'm not sure. Do you know what that is?
No, but is it similar in vein to how like a bunch of women and stuff have been saying like, oh, we need to get free consoles for the Xbox and the new PS5 and all that because they're women and they feel attacked or whatever the bullshit.
I don't know. I figure you're talking about Wonder Woman. Okay. Oh, so they're going to get their gals. They're going to get their bonuses. Oh, but Warner Bros. Not honoring anyone else's. I had not heard about that. So I don't have a big opinion on it, but other than it sounds pretty crappy to me.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, I had not heard about that, Cardinal. Sounds pretty crappy to me. I guess that's as good a topic, as good a seg as any. What do you have any thoughts or aspirations for this film coming up, Wonder Woman 1984, which feels like we've been waiting since 1984 for it to come out?
Honestly, it was not something that like, oh, this looks really interesting. To me, it was just, okay, it's a Wonder Woman movie. There wasn't really any interest there.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say like I don't like Wonder. Like I love the first one. I absolutely love the first one. I didn't like the ending. Not that it was a bad ending. It was just very.
Yeah, the third act
felt very.
Yeah, third act would not
and all that. But I mean, I liked the story. I liked the characters, and I don't know. This one just seemed very different, and it seemed like, oh look, going back in time and doing 80s or 90s or whatever. That's the shtick. That's the gimmick everyone's doing in movies nowadays. Let's do that. That's kind of what it feels like.
I used to be in a punk band with Patty Jenkins, I presume. She's a true badass, good friend, and a capable director. Good people. Oh, well, that's good to hear, Cardinals. And I mean, I like you, Mando. I liked the first one. I guess maybe I don't know if I loved it, but I liked it. And it was, because I generally despise the DCEU, but I thought it was okay. And the last act fell apart for me a little bit. I'm hoping this thing isn't as woke as we keep hearing, but judging by trailers, to be fair, The trailers do make it look like it could be fun. We will see.
Oh, I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying that the movie itself, to me, doesn't look that interesting. I could be wrong.
No, I got you. No.
Yeah. From what I've seen so far, I'm not, drooling over, trailers, like waiting for the movie.
No. But see, I'm under a certain strange blood oath pact that I have to go see this thing because, as I mentioned last night, I have a wonderful, lovely lady friend who is a beautiful lady who absolutely loves Wonder Woman, and we've known each other for almost 25 years. And as back then, we made a pact that we became friends because she loves Wonder Woman so much. And I had to promise that no matter where we lived at the time, if there ever was a Wonder Woman film, we had to go see it together. No matter where, no matter how far apart we lived. And we would. And we did that in 2000, I think that was 17. And in spite of all that is going on, down here, everything's mostly open. We're going to have to go Christmas night. I have no choice. I have to go see it. So I sure hope it's at least decent. And I hope I don't hate it too much. And I'm not saying I will. I'm just saying I hope I don't, because otherwise I'm gonna have a sore arm by the time I walk out of the theater. If I say, God, that really sucked. Bam! Right in the arm. Oh, shut up. Come on, it really sucked. Because she won't be able to say it sucks. She won't have that capability. I will. And I'll probably just lie. Kidding? No, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna give it to her straight. Say this is a piece of shit. If it is. But I hope it isn't. I hope it isn't. We're not being negative here, just saying. You got to prepare yourself for that sort of thing. But yeah, I didn't like Ares at all. There was a strange ending to that film. I liked the first time the movie.
I have no problem with them changing up like the origin and all that. That's fine. Like, because it's still the same character. Like Wonder Woman's still Wonder Woman. But I just wasn't a fan of how it's just like a generic superhero movie CGI slugfest at the end.
Yeah, I got you there. So Cardinal Sin says, but there's a lot of grumbling from everyone's, their backside bonuses.
But
well, I hope
they're at least that's like the only weak part of the film. It's a really good movie in that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I love her. I thought she's great.
Yeah, because I was she's the most relatable character in the entire film.
Yeah, no question about it.
And
so yeah, it's good stuff.
And for all those jackasses that say, "Oh, you have to identify with someone that looks like you and need superheroes that look like you and all that," all fucking shit. Because I identified with Wonder Woman in that film, and I'm not a hot woman. I'm not a superhero. And I'm not naive.
That's because they're superficial. It's a certain sort of superficial narcissism, because it's surface narcissism. Because I do identify with superheroes. I'm just a silly fat old man, but I identify with their values.
Guess who's my favorite Fantastic Four member?
Invisible Woman.
What?
Invisible Woman?
No. Lovable blue-eyed Benji.
Yeah, he's my favorite. I identify with him
because I identify with him the most, and I'm not a giant orange rock monster.
I only said Invisible Woman because when you ask the question, it's trying to throw me off because everyone's just a thing, of course.
No, it's.
No, I got you. And I love him. He's my all-time favorite.
Exactly, yeah, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on your channel here. It's like
no, I got you.
My personal favorite.
I hear you, man. You could hate him and I still have you on. That's cool. I think Iron Man was. Oh, well, actually, here we go. Mark C says, Mark with a C, I'm sorry. Not Mark C. We get him confused. Sorry about Mark C. It's Mark with a C. You guys are different individuals, and both sporting, splendid chaps. WW and Iron Man both had, I guess it's referring to the first Iron Man film, both had weak third acts. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think Iron Man's a lot better. I think Iron Man's a lot better.
It made more sense in the first Iron Man. The Wonder Woman movie, it felt out of place with the rest of the film.
I still think it's a lot better than the Wonder Woman, but some of it, I don't know. I didn't mind it in Iron Man 3. Maybe it's because we just haven't seen it that many times. I think he means Iron Man for Iron Man 1.
Like we were just by Wonder Woman, we saw it for 10 years, like where the third act is always some slugfest.
Well, I don't think I agree with that necessarily, Mark, with the C about Iron Man, the first film, that it had a weak third act. I think it needed a little bit more Iron Man stuff in the middle. I think it lacked Iron Man stuff. I wanted more, maybe one more 5-10 minutes or so of him doing a little bit more would have satisfied me. I really liked the movie. Yeah. I think Iron Man has the more entertaining third act, though. I agree with that, Vigilante. I don't disagree that it is a weak, especially especially the first two. Yeah, I couldn't stand the second. I hate Iron Man 2 and 3.
2 actually grew on me over time.
Yeah,
but that's probably because 3 was just so bad.
Let's see. First movie is always weak. Yeah, that's something I call originitis when it comes to especially comic book films, Cardinal. Yes, originitis, especially if you're a comics fan and you know the origin a lot, or especially
the first Spider-Man movie from Raimi was really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but that's different. Spider-Man hadn't had a big film yet, so you need to do that. But I'm saying originitis can hurt a movie if it's like Superman or Batman because everyone knows their goddamn origins. Just go somewhere else.
Or it's like you got Batman Begins and then
you had to do it with Iron Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and people like that and Thor and Captain. You had to do it, and you can still do it well, but it's always going to have that going not against it, but you know what I'm saying. Whereas when you're freer if you get to your next film and you take off running instead of going backwards again. So I hear you.
Considering that she started off as a model but served in the IDF for 2 years, she is a good choice. Her English is almost back. Yeah. She because remember in Israel they still have the draft.
Yes.
I actually almost served in the IDF, but
oh really? Wow.
Due to medical issues, I wasn't combat ready.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Wow. I loved Wonder Woman scenes in No Man's Land. Yeah, that was my favorite thing in the film was the No Man's Land bit. I truly loved. I thought that was very well done.
You know what would be good? The Batman No Man's Land story from the early 2000s.
I never liked it that much, but it might be. I wouldn't rule that out. That would
make a good film because to me, Batman isn't really a good movie character. He's a good TV show character in my opinion.
Batman the animated series is so wonderful because of that.
Compare all the Batman movies to all the Batman TV shows. Which are better, which are more popular, and which are just more rewatchable.
Well, there you go. That's interesting. You know what? Vigilante Williamson as a Fantastic Four freak, I totally respect that because I love Reed Richards.
Great.
A few months back, I did a show where I counted down my favorite, all-time favorite superheroes or comic book heroes in particular. I mean, they had to have their origin in comic books or strips, and I did 100. Did a whole countdown on that show, and Reed's way up there and in my top. I think he's in my top 10. He's in my top 10 or whatever. I got in trouble on that show, by the way. Speaking of Wonder Woman,
let me figure out which of the FF is my favorite. Like 15 years.
That long, huh? All right, Paulie, thank you for popping in, buddy. I got in trouble for that show, by the way, because the aforementioned nice lady friend of mine who was a Wonder Woman freak, look, she was in my top 100, but I had her low to her. When she found out, and I was dreading it because I'm like, look, they got to be on. And I love Wonder Woman. I love her. Look, if you're in my top 100, I've been reading comics for 50 years, folks. If you're in my top 100, you're a character that I love. But I had her like 45 or something, I think. And man, that she happened to listen that one night. And you got mad at me, man. I got dirty texts from her and shit, like not the good kind of dirty. I mean, mean ones. Yeah, no, I should have rephrased that. Badly phrased that. So yeah, I got my ass in trouble there, boys and girls. Mark, let's see, let's see. We got a rolling chat for only 6 people hanging on here. Let's see what they're saying, man. Mark, let's see. Considering she started off as a model and served as an IDF. Yeah. I love her. I think she's gorgeous. I mean, she's saying some dumb stuff.
I love her as Wonder Woman. Yeah, I have no problem with her.
I absolutely love her. First Captain America should have had a few more. Yes, see that the last act of the Captain America film, which I do love. Joe Johnston did a nice job with it. You needed, not so much more Cap fighting scenes, although I would have liked that because it kind of ended on a montage type thing. I think you needed to write some more into the film that suggested that he'd been Captain America for a lot longer, that it had been a little bit more gravitas to how long he was.
To be honest, I didn't like the Captain America film.
I love it, and Chris Evans is a total dolt in real life, but
Oh,
I
no.
love him as Captain America.
No, I love him as Captain America. I just wasn't a fan of the film because of the pacing and because of the whole. Just me I'm a World War II history nut, so just seeing like laser weapons in World War II kind of like
Dude, it's a Marvel comic.
one way.
But dude, it's a science fiction, fantasy, Marvel comic superhero film. I mean, what do you? This is not.
I know, but even
It's not Band of Brothers,
in the
man.
original comics, they didn't have laser weapons.
No, I know that, but see, they did that because a lot of the Marvel people didn't want to show it looks like as Nazis, like from an Indiana Jones film and crap. No, and they did have. Well, actually, in the comics, they may not have had lasers necessarily, but they had a lot of science fiction.
They did. I know they did have science, but usually the science fiction weapons were like these giant machines that made sense for the time because they were so.
We're still pretty out there, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that didn't bother me. I like John.
So high tech and sophisticated. It needed to be so giant because we didn't have micro technology and circuitry and all that yet.
I thought the first Avenger. Captain America: First Avenger told the origin beautifully. That's one of all comic book origin films. That origin, that first part of the film where they tell his origin, I put it up there against any origin telling of any live action film of a superhero. I really love how he did that.
I really thought they borked Doctor Strange.
Which one?
Doctor Strange.
You thought they what? You didn't like that one?
Well,
I love that one.
Doctor Strange was a character that I really liked. And I still like it. Just when the movie came out, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do because I was expecting something more akin to like a kung fu flick mixed with superhero and sci-fi, because that's pretty much the character in the comics, or I should say, sci-fi mysticism, whatever. But originally the Ancient One wouldn't accept him originally because of his selfishness, but then he saved the ancient one's life by risking his own when he learned that Baron Mordo was turning against him. But because Baron Mordo was like a good guy up until the end of this film and everything, it was very different.
They screw at everything, dude, when it comes to comic book movies. If they get one halfway right now, I've learned that if they get something right and don't bastardize the character and they make it fairly enjoyable and give it a visuals. Because for me, it's the comic, and my favorite thing other than a comic for these characters really is well done animation. When it's in live action, I take what I can get as long as it's not horrible. And I don't know, because they never, almost never, never is not the proper word, but very rarely are they as faithful as I would want them to be, but they don't ask me. I want to address Vigilante Williamson here. You know, Vigilante, we're on the same page there, my friend. I disagree. We haven't had a Superman film. Well, I didn't like 2002 Superman Returns either, buddy, but I know what you're saying. And that one sucked. Yeah, sorry. I went too slack. And no, Henry Cavill has not played Superman yet. Totally agree. You're looking at the biggest hater of Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's horrible DCU filth. And so I'm right there with you, friend.
I think he can play a good Superman.
Oh, no, look, yeah. Yes.
But I'd rather him play James Bond. If I choose between the two, I'd rather him James. Like if I had okay, if you're choosing his career, but you can only choose one of these two, I would go with James Bond just because he's perfect for that role.
I'll tell you why I agree with you. One, because I love James Bond and I agree he's a perfect choice. Two, because Warner Superman now in movies, his future is in the hands of the idiot Jar Jar Abrams, and I have no faith that it will be done. So it'll be him probably doing a good job in a lousy, shitty movie. So I'm with you on the same page, my friend.
And plus, he's played a James Bond type character in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the 2015.
Yeah, Robert Vaughn.
I know you didn't like, but
no, I didn't see it. I plan to watch it. I just never saw it. No, I'm not saying it's bad. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I'm a fan of the movie.
I watched both the show and the movie, and they're very different from each other, but not in a bad way. It's just the show is not the show. Sorry, the movie is less campy than the show, because the show was pretty campy. at times.
Well,
But
the last 2 seasons were. At first, it wasn't so much. The
no,
first couple
but
of seasons, but last season was really campy. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Season 3 and 4. I think no. There was 4 seasons. That's right. 3 was campy because of the Batman craze that were kind of cashing in, and then 4
right.
kind of went back to. So, Man from Uncle, yeah, had a campy season, but I love it. But I hear you.
I don't know. I just thought that the movie as a whole, as a movie, was very well written, and the humor and the seriousness was balanced out very well.
Oh, look, yeah, I'm open to it. Again, I just at first I kind of just I don't. It's not like I really necessarily actively avoided it. I just never had a chance to see it. You know,
I will warn you though.
Mm-hmm.
Army Hammer as the
Russian. He is no Ilya Kuryakin.
It's hard to take in, but Henry Cavill as Napoleon Solo.
Yeah. Well, David McCallum's so damn good on that show. Ely is my favorite character. I mean, I think he's most people's favorite. I mean, I like, Napoleon, and I like Robert Vaughn. But Ilya Kuryakin, man, he's just something about that character. So, yeah. No, look, I'm not, if it ever pops up and it's easy to watch, I mean, it's like I have easy access to it, I would watch it for sure, man. I hear you. I'm glad to hear that you like it. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say they like it. Let's see. What do we got? Mark would say the Mandarin really pissed me. Oh God, not even 3 yet.
Don't get me started on that.
They're using him as Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. What a disgrace that. I mean, look, and I'm a fan of that character. And Marvel could have afforded to pay Sachs Romer Estate to use Fu Manchu, but we know why they wouldn't because they're gutless. And God, it's going to be using that Mandarin again, dude. Why? Well, we know why.
Wait, weren't they like going to turn the Mandarin into his father, even though his father is a completely different character who's also evil?
I don't know if they're going to do that or not. It's really dumb. In the comic books, of course, Fu Manchu was his father.
Right.
So I don't know.
Now, the whole thing, he's battling his father. That was pretty much the.
Yeah, and they paid. Marvel paid. Sachs Romer, who wrote the Fu Manchu novels. Marvel had to pay them to use it in the comics. It expired, after the comic book got canceled in the early '80s or whatever, and they couldn't use them anymore. But then they paid them a little bit of money, let them do the last epic collection.
I have a few Iron Fist and Shang-Chi.
Yeah, but
Fu Manchu and his.
Well, we know Marvel could afford it.
Ninjas or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a screenwriter, says Cardinalson. 95% of movies and TV are predictable crap to me. I hear you there. Bad writing and having producers that don't know bad from good are ruining our superhero movies. Yeah, well, I agree with that, but superhero movies are kind of over anyway. You're not going to get that much anymore.
I'm exactly in the same boat as Cardinal Sin when it comes to video games. I don't design them, but I've played enough of them, and I actually might help someone who's thinking of starting up his own company on writing a few. But it's pretty much like they're all pretty much copy and paste stories, and movies do the same thing. Like you can see it. You don't even have to be a writer, a movie writer that is, to see these predictabilities. Even though, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am a writer, but I'm not a movie writer. I haven't written for any projects aside from my own personal stuff. And
same here.
I can see a lot of things coming a mile away. I mean, I predicted I saw Alien Covenant in 2018. I caught it on cable. That movie was the most predictable horror movie I have ever seen. I was able to guess the entire movie from like the first few minutes.
Wow, I've not seen that. I don't watch much modern stuff, so I've heard it was. Yeah.
I'm an Alien fan, so I was curious about it, and then I watched it, and I regretted it.
Damn, I've heard that a lot though. On that one, no, Shang-Chi's father was already announced. I guess he been announced, but it's not the Mandarin. So the Mandarin won't be his father. Okay, still, if it's not Fu Manchu, then it's crap. So. Mickey Rourke was the only thing.
Team up with like a detective character. I forget.
Nayland Smith from the Fu Manchu novels. I think he was in some of the comics. if I remember right.
I always remember that he had like a buddy that he would be there. Sometimes he wouldn't be there, but they'd always like team up against
It could be. It's been a while since I've read some of those. I love the old.
One's taking him down, because he's like a Western detective.
Yeah.
And you got Shang-Chi, who obviously is Shang-Chi.
Right. Been a while since I've read some of them, but I think the Nayland Smith or whatever, who was, I believe, Fu Manchu's chief nemesis, a detective, I believe, with Scotland Yard or whatever, was, I think, in the comic. But it's been a while. Man.
Yeah, that sounded about right.
Mickey Rourke was the only thing in it. See, I'm going to respectfully disagree with my new buddy Vigilante Williams. I thought Mickey Rourke was horrible in that movie. He was incomprehensible, and he was the whole time. He was terrible by the bird. And here's what I really hated about him. This is comic geek stuff 101. I grant you, but I hate the fact that they combined him. They used his actual name, and they used the name of the Crimson Dynamo, but they used his villain name of Whiplash. They combined the secret identity of it made no sense. The identity of Crimson Dynamo, which would have been a way better villain than Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
And then you just Whiplash with these stupid whip things. Whiplash is a penny ante, nothing little villain. He always has to run around with Living Laser and all these other nothing Iron Man villains, so he takes out like 5 at a time. As opposed to Crimson Dynamo, who's a power threat.
Living Laser is more of a threat than
right,
Whiplash.
He is. But I'm just saying, he runs around with like a bunch of them.
Especially in the 90s. Like, he was a good villain.
But Crimson Dynamo is perfect for
I say he was a good
Iron Man.
villain, but he was still an Iron Man villain, so he got his ass kicked really quickly.
Oh, yeah. But he's not like a major player. Crimson Dynamo is kind of a pretty big, heavy hitter.
Yeah,
that was,
that dude was he was around forever. Like, he was never like a villain that like went away for a long period of time.
Yes.
Consistent just villain.
A better nemesis.
Throughout decades.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Rourke was terrible.
Titanium Man. I'm still...
Yeah, Titanium Man.
After the first movie came out, I was so hoping Titanium Man would be the next villain.
See, have to do my own. Oh, hey, Vigilante, I'll stop by there if you're doing one tonight, man. I want to thank you for popping in, my friend. I'm honored to have you here, sir. If you're still listening, if you hadn't popped out yet, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great show, man. When I get out of here, I will try to go find it and look for you, man. So thank you, sir. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I can throw a link in the chat. Give me a sec.
Okay. I mean, I'm sub to him. By the way, anyone who is not subbed, please sub to my new buddy Vigilante Williamson. If you have not already, and if you could throw a link there, I'll put it in so people can sub to him. I should put it in my. And by the way, again, I have a lot of good friends with links below, folks. So please take a look at those. Where was I?
Okay, I cannot throw a link because I don't have a wrench.
Let's see here. I can give you one. Let's see. But let me it's so weird how this thing lags when I go to the open other window I have open. Wow, why is it censoring Cardinal Sin? Thing's moving on me. It's not moving. A second. I see. I'm trying to give you one, but it's moving on me too damn fast. Oh, okay. So as my chat stops on me here. Sorry, everyone. Having some technical issues here. Oh, what's wrong with you? All right, we'll see. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to fix something, everyone. Yes. Control GPC from the future. Well, it might have been Control, but since we were talking about, oh, thanks, Eric. I appreciate that, bro. Since we were talking about Man from U.N.C.L.E. earlier, it may have been Thrush. And now in the display of ridiculous geek prowess, I will give the absolute meaning of the word, what Thrush stands for, on the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yes. No applause, please. It is the Thrush is the technical hierarchy for the removal of undesirables and the subjugation of humanity. And I'm going straight to Geek Hill for knowing that. If you know what I'm saying. So, maybe. But I didn't know. I guess you guys are hearing me. Okay. Oh, well, look. By the way, Mando, if you're hearing me, Eric got the link up in there, man. Because I don't know what's happening to my chat. It's every time I try to do something, it moves on. And I have an open window for it. Because you can only do, well, you can only give a wrench by a. God, what's wrong with this thing? Yeah, all right. Well, I don't know. What's wrong with this damn thing? Well, whatever. Okay. Oh, shite. Burnham can fix anything. Mikey Spock can fix anything, bud. Yeah. Well, let's see here. we're gonna wrap it up in a second when Mando gets back, because there's no reason to torture you guys any more than we already have. Well, here we go. Yeah. Join us though Thursday night, folks. I know Jobber's going to be here. Hopefully this microphone worked out okay. I know Jobber's going to be here, and I hope you will be too, so we can trigger everyone with Flash and I doing our 25 most hated movies. And and by the way, I know Polly's not with us now. I didn't mean to pick a night where he's doing his wonderful X-Files thing, but Thursday night was the only night we could do it. So Thursday night. Let's see. Thank you, Cardinals, and I appreciate that. Excuse me. I could never really pronounce your name, buddy, but that's okay. I like that. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that, bud. And Mando, you can feel free to put your channel up there too, but I know you have a channel. Oh, yes, and of course, Thursday, 1 p.m. on your channel, Clobberin Times will be visiting the great Cardinal Sin. I can't wait, man. Looking forward to it. Let's see here. Let's see. See if I can get that thing working now. It just keeps moving. I don't understand it. Mando, I want to put your channel into it, and I can't. I was trying to make you a wrench, and then people started. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see. All right, Mando. Now you're a wrench. If you he already put a vigilante in there, but dude, feel free to put your link in there for your channel.
I'll just stay AFK for a sec.
I'm sorry?
Sell something to drink. Let me go through the link now.
Yeah, but again, Vigilantes has been put in there by Eric, but you feel free to put yours in there.
Okay, cool.
Feel free to put yours in there. I wrenched you there. Wrench power. So, why do people keep sending me messages on Facebook? I can't turn my friggin' audio on my phone off. So anyway, let's see here. Well, before we get out of here again, we're going to we'll just cover a little bit more here, I guess, and we'll let everybody off in peace. Let's see. Okay. Yes, again, like I was saying, everyone, Thursday night. If you want to hear a couple of jackasses be mean to movies that you might like, and again, you probably don't like them either. Like I said, this hate list is pathetic, Mando, because my list is so geeky, because it's almost all of it, not all of it, but most of it are comic book movies, and almost all of genre stuff too. So I'm going, man, do you ever watch anything? And I guess because these are the movies that piss me off the most. There's a lot of movies that I didn't like, of course, but I guess that's what I watched the most of. I'm sad that way. In other words, I won't be putting fried green tomatoes on there because I never watched it.
What about killer tomatoes?
I have seen that, but I don't hate it. I just think it's stupid. It's bad. That's what I'm saying. I can't put Man Us: The Hands of Fate on there because I watched it with MST3K and Riff Tracks. And it's funny bad. It is pretty bad. But see, it doesn't make me angry. It's like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe this crap was made.
So the criteria is films that infuriate you.
Yes, because again, a bad movie, it's like I was saying, it's low-hanging fruit. I mean, there are a lot of movies that are generally considered bad. Like if you pull up bad movies, like on a Google search or something like that, you see a standard list of a lot of bad films. Well, 97% of them I haven't even seen.
Not every bad movie will anger you. Some are just
or
bad, or funny bad, or like there are levels of bad. You got funny bad, you got just really bad, unwatchable bad, and then there's angry bad.
And there's also, I didn't even see that one bad. Like I've heard that's bad, but I never bothered to watch it. Not because it was bad, because I wasn't interested in it.
The Transformers franchise of film.
Oh, there you go.
Would be for me the angry bad.
Yes.
Well, some of them are angry bad, others are just unwatchable bad because I just cannot watch some of them. They're just unwatchable in no.
Right.
No, I can't watch it.
Spoiler alert, there's one of those on there. And again,
think Weird Al, right? Can't watch.
I love Weird Al. Got to see him perform live a couple times. He was fantastic.
The first two are both. They're angry bad and unwatchable bad.
Yeah. To me, they're and it's personal on these because again, like I say, it's just like a bad movie can be funny. These ain't funny. These did something to me. They did something.
There are some movies that are bad, but they're fun to pick apart, like
right.
Jurassic World. To me, that's funny bad because it's so horrible. It's so awful. To me, it's a film that doesn't know what it wants to be. Because sometimes it's an adventure film, sometimes it's an action film, sometimes it's a horror movie, sometimes it's a monster movie. It doesn't know what it wants to be.
Well, yes, a couple weeks back, Mark C and I did a show, the great Mark C, where he picked bad movies we love, and we listed a lot of movies that are generally considered turkeys, but he liked them and he loves it. So that's different, right? Exactly. It's kind of fun to watch. I got to admit, this movie's crap, but I like it anyway. That kind of thing.
Oh yeah, does sleeping through it count as walking out? Because I probably would have walked out if I had not gotten so bored and passed out.
Which one would that be?
Transformers 4.
Oh, okay. I didn't get past the second one. The second one I was dumb enough to go see the theater.
I didn't see the third one in theaters, thankfully. Actually, I don't think I saw the second one in theaters either.
I did. That's one I am.
And I caught the other one at a friend's place, the third one. The fourth one, a friend of mine dragged me and my best friend to, and my brother, and we were like, okay, we'll give it a shot. It's got the Dinobots and Grimlock. It might be good. And and Prime is in his hubcab mode, right? Like the traditional G1 truck mode. Oh my God, no, that was horrible.
Yeah, that
was the movie that cemented the Bayformers as like Murder Prime to me, where it was like, because to me, like beforehand, I never really cared because they were just so awful. But now I just like, after seeing that movie, I was just like, why is Optimus Prime a murdering psychopath?
Jesus, yeah, no, oh God. Well, and there's this thing. Well, was it Cardinals, and then there's I walked out on it bad. Yep, if you walked out, that's pretty bad.
I heard I know someone that walked out on The Predator, the
first one.
No, The Predator.
The Predator. I'm sorry,
the most recent one.
I don't blame him. I didn't watch it. Crap. And if you walked out on one, you can still put it on your hate list. I say. There's also I would have walked out, but I wish I'd walked out of it bad.
Godzilla King of the Monsters. Oh, the 2019 one? I caught that on HBO.
I didn't mind that one too much, but the 1998 Godzilla might be on my list.
The movie is so... I didn't like it just because it was like, okay, you have this, like... It has that, like, we're following the humans trend now. In a Godzilla movie, that makes sense, right? Because unlike Transformers, where they have human characteristics and personalities... They're just robots. Godzilla is just a monster that doesn't talk. You know, he just growls and destroys things or fights other monsters. So really what drives the plot forward in the entire movie is the humans and the Godzilla and the interactions and all that. But it has to be done well. And what we got was like we're following this family around, and like the mother's a psychopath and the father is like we gotta kill. It took me out of the film so much. And then you had all the like, remember this, look, it's the oxygen destroyer. Remember the oxygen destroyer from the first Godzilla movie? It's like it just felt forced a lot of the time. And then there was all the like, okay, and the monster fights, don't get me wrong, were really good, except a lot of the time during the monster fights they'd pan the camera to the right.
Yeah,
to the left,
I agree with that.
Like watching the family and everything escaping, and I'd just be like, no, pan left. I want to go see the monsters fighting, not the little humans running away, because that's what, at the end of the day, that's what the main event of a Godzilla film is. You want to watch the giant monsters destroy and fight each other.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess I didn't hate that movie as much as most people, but there's a difference between that one being flawed and messed up that my buddy Mark with a C says, because he's got it in the same sentence with one of the worst movies ever made, which I'm going to spoil you now, will be on my list. Godzilla 1988 is one of the worst pieces of shit ever made.
I've pretty much seen every, I'd say I've seen 80% of the Godzilla films. I haven't watched like the 2000 onward stuff.
I have, actually.
Well, that would be like that's the Showa stuff, right? Showa era.
The 2000 on started a new era with Godzilla Jr.
In terms of like chronologically, the last Godzilla film I saw was before the 2014 one.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Destroyer one.
Yes, from 96, I think. Godzilla versus Destroyer. That's where Godzilla Sr. dies.
No. I saw Mechagodzilla, the 2000 or something Mechagodzilla. That was good too.
Okay. Well, Destroyer is the one where the Godzilla Sr. buys it, and then 2001 started the saga of Godzilla Jr.
Saves the world by absorbing all of his radiation.
2001, right.
Buys Godzilla.
In 2000, that's when Godzilla 2000 came out, and that was the beginning of Godzilla Jr.
Yeah, but, and you had because I remember I watched the Mechagodzilla of that version.
Right,
and that was good too.
Godzilla Wars was kind of funny. It was weird. It's one of the weirdest.
Yeah, but I thought it was probably still better than what we got in 2009.
See, I didn't like the 2000. I thought the 2014 crap was worse than this. King of the Monsters.
2014 one because they did a good job in setting up Godzilla as a threat.
I'll tell you what sucks though. Godzilla 1998 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and now I'm glad we had this conversation because I forgot one that I probably end up on my list. A movie that is inexplicably well liked. I'm going to tell you guys something. Forgive me if you like this film. I won't save it for Thursday, but it is going to go on my list now. Shin Godzilla is a piece of shit, and it's well liked. I fucking hated it.
I've never seen the full film.
Lucky you. I've
just seen like some clips and stuff, and I gotta say, the first time I saw what was like his Form 2 or whatever it was, where he was like that was horrifying. That was legit.
Dude, the whole movie is just humans whinging about nuclear disaster, and he stands there like a statue for hours. I won't spoil it for all you people till Thursday night. Put it like this though.
See, I wouldn't know that. I've only seen all the parts that have Godzilla.
Yeah, it's so bad, dude. Look, it was such a bore fest, and people talk about it like it's the greatest Godzilla movie ever made. I'm like, I don't know what you're seeing. He's hardly in it. He doesn't do a damn thing. And this goddamn movie, look, we didn't have a general release in theaters a few years back. It had you know how they do these Fathom event?
It was by the original Godzilla.
Right, studio. Exactly. You know these Fathom events they do? Well, my son, I raised a Godzilla fanatic, so we go see them all whenever they do that stuff. And we went to see it in a Fathom event. It only aired one night. And it was horrific. I friggin' hated it. Some people like it, so I don't know. But anyway, so we're
at the end of the day, nothing's really gonna beat those original either the original 50s Godzilla films or the campy 90s stuff, because those stuff are just Godzilla at its best.
Exactly. Agreed. Mark,
Even the campy stuff in the 90s, because it's like,
yeah, those are good ones.
Even with the English dub, like Godzilla versus Destroyer, where you have like the line.
Oh, those are fun.
I'm not kidding. This is an actual line in the film where it's like Godzilla will explode, and then you have a guy go, "Huh?" It's funny, but at the same time, it's still a good movie.
No, those are fun.
It's not supposed to be funny. It's just, oh no, Godzilla's going to explode and destroy the world with him. Whereas it just, the delivery is funny, but it doesn't take away from the film. It just adds humor to it.
Well, yeah. Mark, with a C, I actually am with you there. Look, I liked Kong Skull Island fairly well, and I hope Godzilla versus King Kong is good. That's something I'll go to see. I hope that's good as well, Mark. So we will see if it ever freaking comes out. The toys are out already.
Yeah. Oh, so Godzilla King of the Monsters from last year. That was the last film I was genuinely excited for. So I haven't been excited to see a film since then. So that was kind of a big blow for me when it's like, oh, it's actually bad.
yeah, I was waiting for Captain Planet to show up in Godzilla 2019.
Especially since these days, there's not really much to be excited for in terms of films.
No, nothing. No, you're right about that. If you thought that was pretty, marked with the C, watch Shin Godzilla. No, don't watch Shin Godzilla, sir. Yeah, Final Wars. You saw Cardin. You saw Final Wars. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's an insane movie. It's funny though. It's funny. It's so weird, man. That's the one. It's the last one before Legendary did it, like 2007 or something like that. I mean, they just said, screw it. Let's just be as ridiculous as we can be. So if you like the Camp Fest ones, yeah. Now, Mark with a C.
Stuff with the 2000s and these Godzilla. Like, I know that's probably like the era that people kind of look down on in terms of like the Toho Godzilla films. You know, yeah, but like, you know, the 70s and 50s through 70s stuff is much better because, you know, you got like Godzilla versus Mothra and King Ghidorah and all, like, those are the classics and the best, but you can't deny that the stuff from the 90s and 2000s was not good. It was good. It was just
it was good.
A little campier, but it was still enjoyable. It was still Godzilla.
Oh yeah, Mark with a C. Are you referring to Destroy All Monsters? I'm not sure if you're familiar with All Monsters Attack. I remember Destroy All Monsters, but it could have had a different title at some point.
I think that was also part of the show series.
Okay.
I came mistaken there.
Oh, I got you. Actually, I came to this. I came this close to getting a Godzilla TV series on the Sci-Fi Channel. The B-52s had agreed to do the theme and incidental music, and Ton Rundgren, agreed to be the baddie. Wow, I met him. Oh my goodness, dude! You know, remember what? You know what? I just thought of another topic I'm going to do one day, Cardinal, and it's going to be about when the Sci-Fi Channel was good, and I mean in the first few years. Boy, was it good!
Back when they were called Sci-Fi.
Yeah, well, they were just called the Sci-Fi Channel, but yeah, exactly. They weren't the Syphy Channel or the Syphilis Channel. Yeah,
I never
that. You know, when they first started, now again, not everybody got them immediately, not in their cable provider, but we did where I lived. And oh God, I forget the year, 92 or something like that, or whatever it was.
I think I only got it in the mid 2000s.
Well, where I was living, we just happened to be one of the ones getting it, right? And so what they did was about 2 weeks before the thing aired, and dude, it's 1992. You didn't get science fiction movies coming out the ass or TV shows or anything. You took what you can get. Right. So when they announced this, I was so excited. And so on this,
you had good non-science fiction movies at the time as well.
Yeah.
We don't even have that anymore.
No, of course, no. But see, as a science fiction geek, I was so excited. And here's the thing about this was 2 weeks before the thing started, they had on the channel, if you turned it on to the channel that it was going to be on, they had all these all this amazing, crazy science fiction music playing, sort of like a Midnight's Edge After Dark Speed Radio, and all kind of crazy images and stuff. And there was a countdown clock, and it counted down the days. The first thing they showed was Star Wars 77. I've never been comfortable saying New Hope or episode 4, any kind of bullshit.
Star Wars.
I say Star Wars.
Whatever, yeah.
So they showed It was the first thing they ever showed on the Sci-Fi Network, the Sci-Fi Channel. And then their regular shows. I mean, they showed Lost in Space and Doctor Who in the morning, Dark Shadows. Everything was real classic old science fiction shows. They would show science fiction movies. And they had this one thing they did every night, weeknight, they had this thing called the Sci-Fi Channel series collection. And what it was they showed shows that didn't last very long, like 5 episodes, 7 episodes, 20 episodes, whatever. Short-lived shows that didn't make it into syndication, but were science fiction shows that no one had seen for many, many years. So the first few years of the Sci-Fi Channel, man, it was must-see TV because they showed nothing but good stuff. Star Trek. I mean, they showed all the good stuff. So anyway, I don't know what got me in there, but anyway, Godzilla. Where were I? Oh yeah, I don't know where I was. I was nowhere. It's where I was, right? What? I'm coming for you, Doctor Who. Doctor Who is no longer. Chibi has ruined Doctor Who. So what are you going to do? Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Cardinal Sin. Oh. Well, you know what? I wish you'd have got that Godzilla series on there. But, oh, yeah, just to sum up, I'm glad you guys reminded me of Shin Godzilla. Spoiler, it's gone on the list. God damn, I hated that movie. But it's just weird. And this is a lot of do you have any movies, for example, Mando, that you feel like you're alone in the wilderness and you can't stand it, but everyone else just thinks it's so great? And you're like, and again, you just don't get, you don't hate them for liking or anything like that. You're just kind of like, what? I don't get it. Why do people love this thing? And when I tell them I don't like it, they go, what the hell's wrong with you? You got any? I got a bunch.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You can tell me. Unless you don't want to tell me now. If you don't have to.
No, what was that Christopher Nolan one that everyone loves?
Oh, Inception?
Inception, yeah.
Oh, good.
I just don't really like it. I don't dislike it. I don't like it. It's not. Everyone's like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, what the fucking do?
You know, I never saw it, and you know why? I can't stand Leonardo DiCaprio that much. But what happened the night that came out? Because you're right. It's a beloved film, which is perfectly fine. Excuse me. The night that came out, I get a call about 2 a.m. from a friend of mine who lives out on. I'm in the Central Time Zone. He lives out on the West Coast. Well, he just seen the film, and we're back then. He was we were kind of like writing partners. We did a lot of writing together. He went out there to try to break into the showbiz. He was always mad at me because I didn't go with him. He wanted us to write screenplays together, different things like that. And we used to write a lot of stuff together. But anyway, he calls me on the phone and he bitches and moans about how bad that movie is and how stupid it is for 2 hours. Well, not 2, about 2, almost 2 hours, because he just felt the need to vent about how horrible it was. And I was like, oh, man, dude, you don't have to convince me. I'm not going to see this shit anyway. And then, of course, the next day, I'm getting everyone saying it's the greatest goddamn movie ever made. And so I'm like, okay, I'll take you guys' words for it because I'm not going to watch it anyway. Cardinal said, let's see here. I was scared to death that I was going to be a showrunner and be responsible for write 26 episodes of Godzilla a year. Now, that would be tough to write 26 of something like that. Yeah, that would not be easy, I wouldn't think. So, wow, man. Back then, they weren't playing around. They did 20-something episodes a year. Yep. Score from Inception is...
down to 24, then to 22, and now...
Yes. Now it's 3. It's like 8, depending on the show. Score from Inception is pretty awesome, though. I hear it is. Well, Hans Zimmer is good. I think he did that one. Agreed. Don't like DiCaprio, but the ladies do love him. Well, look, if I had a chance...
Not that I know, too.
I know a lot that do, though. Look, if I had a chance to pull like that Turnabout Intruder body swap on him and go walk around and say I'm Leonardo DiCaprio and look like him for a couple hours, I'd go have me some fun. I can't lie to you there. With the ladies. Have you seen the graph of DiCaprio constantly dating younger women as he gets older? Never date anyone over 25. You know, that's a policy I can get behind. so to speak. You know, Mark with a C, I somehow don't have a problem with that. I have a problem because it's him and not me, but yeah, I mean, if you were getting older, but you had all that the money that Jagoff has, and women loved him so much, would you? Don't answer that. I'd have me some fun. I don't know. Maybe call me old fashioned. So yeah, I just can't look. I'm weird that way, dude. I can't stand Tom Cruise or DiCaprio or Clooney. There's some actors I just don't like. I don't watch their crap if I have anything to say about it.
I'm not a fan of either of those guys either.
Yeah, I mean, I Tom Cruise. You wouldn't believe the shit I get from people when every time he comes out. Not every time. People they love him.
No one in my family likes him.
It's just like I've had friends over the years. Like if he was in some big movie, back when he was in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch that, man. I said, I know you hate Cruise. You know you say you hate him, but you really got to watch this one. He said, well, why? Why? Is it against the law if I don't watch it? Am I going to jail? Will I go to hell or something? Can I not watch it and let you have it? And oh, come on, man, you really got to see this shit. Come on, you got to see it. Why? Jesus Christ, who cares if I don't watch Tom Cruise? I think he's going to be okay. Pretty sure I'm not hurting Tom Cruise's feelings, but because I don't know him. Some fat ass in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is really hurting his feelings by not going to see his movies. I don't think so. I think he's going to be all right, guys. But I don't have to watch it. DiCaprio is going to probably survive without me watching his movies. Just saying. Oh, Lord. No comedy. Yeah, well, no, yeah.
Have you ever liked a movie that others hate?
Oh, yeah, man. That's why I can relate.
Because I don't hate I hate what they did to Galactus, but I don't hate the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer film.
I'm sort of there with you. I don't think it's that good. What they did, Galactus, pisses me off, but the movie itself was just sort of.
Right.
I mean, there are way worse movies.
Shit in that film, but everything else is pretty good. I like the dynamic they have with the Fantastic Four there, and
wow, we got a doozy here.
Plus they recreate. Oh, they did their best to recreate the comic book scene with the wedding with Stan Lee. So for those who don't know, in the original wedding of Sue Storm and Reed Richards, at the end of the comic, at the very end, you have Jack Kirby and Stan Lee show up at the doors, and Nick Fury kicks them out.
They kicked them out. That's right. Fantastic Four annual number. I think that's annual 11.
Comment about like they're going to screw with them next issue or something.
I think that's FF annual number 3. Yeah, that's it. It was a silly fun one there. That's right. You know what, Carnelson? I didn't remember that. Wow, thanks, man. That's some kind of a memory right there, dude. During the time when the Syphilis channel, no, they were the Sci-Fi channel, was counting down. They said, "I'm coming for you," and it was like Star Wars, Doctor Who, and I did not know that. I totally forgot that, but I remember keeping that TV on there all the time. Keeping my TV on that all the time, though. We got a doozy here, man. This might be the biggest of all time. Zero depressive. Did I say that right?
The comment he just made about him.
Yeah. By the way,
Dean's Fan Four Stick.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for being here, Zero. I liked. He said fan. Actually, that's the wrong title. It's actually called Fan Four Stick. And that's the nicest thing to say about it. Speaking of things people hate, you like. That's dude. I can't say much to you, even though that's gonna be way at the top of my hate list because I hate it with a passion.
They'll rage you must be holding back right now.
No, you know what? I hate it, but if somebody else likes it, and I appreciate it, Bob. But yeah. Oh, dude, the rage I had for that movie. That's why I'm reserving it. It's Thursday night.
I remember when I saw trailers for it, it looked awful. Because I'm looking at why is Reed Richards a kid in the film? I get doing the whole
so was Ben
growing up thing.
They were all kids, yeah.
But they're
so bad.
Also, because originally Johnny was the only kid in the group.
Exactly.
He was Spider-Man.
He was older than Ben.
Originally.
Yeah, he looked older than Ben almost. And of course that. Oh God, it was so bad, man.
Oh, yeah, he was older than.
Yeah, I mean, Michael B. Jordan looked older than the dude playing Ben. It was a piece of shit. But you know what, Zero? I applaud you for having that kind of courage. That movie, has a special hate in my heart because I live right where they filmed it, like down the street from it, and I had to drive back and forth in front of that theater. Excuse me, that studio every day, and then I even, because of the job I was doing at the time, I had to deliver things to that studio, and I was wearing this is a true story. This is 2013ish, 14 or whatever, when they were filming that filth. And I brought a bunch of boxes on a dolly to their main office of some magazines. I was working for a printing company at the time. We made some mags for them, and I was wearing my Fantastic Four shirt with my Kirby Fantastic Four shirt, just so happens. And I was talking shit. I was like, fuck these motherfuckers. I was pissed off and they're making that movie there. But I was minding my own business, leaving the place with a dolly after I dropped the box off, and it was really hot outside. It was Louisiana. It's always hot. And I slipped and busted my goddamn knee all up, man. I was bleeding. I was in pain. It was hurting me. And weirdly enough, instead of getting mad, I looked over at that studio, and I was like, you know what? This is actually funny that this would happen to me wearing a Fantastic Four shirt today of all days, when they're making that filthy horse shit over there. I actually laughed at myself for the weirdness of all. I guess if there's an irony in there somewhere. So what the hell? I said, you know what? This is funny. You deserve that. It's funny. And yet, Josh Skank deserves a lot worse. The director, if you can call him that.
Here's another movie that I don't like that everyone seems to love. Days of Future Past. X-Men Days of Future Past. I did not like it.
I didn't like it either. And do people love that one?
Everyone I know seems to.
You know why I went to theater to see that movie? Because it was really bad weather that night, and we live in a place that gets flooded a lot. It was flooded. My son and I were like, we got nothing to do now. We got to wait till the waters go down. And we said, let's go see a movie. And he says, X-Men, are you shitting me? There's nothing else to go see. So we went and watched it like idiots. I didn't like it.
I rented it and watched it with my father, and he liked it a bit more than I, but that's really not saying much.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that one either, man. I'm not big on barely any of the X-Men movies for me personally.
You know, I liked the first two. But,
yeah.
And I liked parts of the third one. Like, I do think the third one does some things that are pretty good, but as a whole, the film isn't great.
And I've heard that the Edge of Destruction is good from a lot of people, so you're not alone. A lot of people do like that one.
Live Die Repeat. I saw that on cable. It's good. I enjoyed. I didn't like Tom Cruise in it, but I mean, I like the concept of like the Groundhog Day, but taken to that kind of level.
Hey, Zero. Those.
It was called Edge of Tomorrow here in the States, and I totally agree. It should have been called Live Die Repeat. Yeah,
no, I hear you there. Zero, they are good actors. Nothing. I never really blame the actors for anything. Those are good actors. I have nothing wrong with the actors. I have a lot wrong with the story, the way the movie was written, and the. Mark with a C as a hater. Van Forstick also made a mistake of going the way. Well, Mark with a C is a hater of Ultimates. That's never a good route for me, and I hate it when the MCU did some of that stuff.
Honestly, if they did the Ultimate route with Spider-Man, I would actually be okay with that because that's better than what we have.
Rogue version was a little better, but not great considering how. Well, what was the Rogue version? No, you're talking about. He was talking about from Days of
Future Past. Yeah, there's a Rogue cut. That's probably why that is why my father likes it a bit more than I.
Well, I did like the Quicksilver stuff in it.
He's seen the Rogue cut, and I have not.
Oh, okay.
So he likes that version, whereas I've only seen the theatrical release that we rented, and I.
Right.
I'm not a fan of time travel.
Yeah.
In terms of it depends. Terminator and Back to the Future, it's fine because it's not a plot device. It's not like a thing that they can use to do whatever. It's part of the story. Like the story if there's no time travel, you just don't have the story. Just that plain simple. But time travel stories usually are not very well written. Like the reason why I like Terminator is because it's I liked at least the first one and the second one too, where it's that kind of like the first one's this closed loop, where it's like the whole reason it started is because they went back in time in the first place. I mean, yeah, it creates a bit of a paradox there, but I liked that. Kind of that whole, they're trying to change things, but they're changing things caused it. And then you have the second one, which is fixing that mistake.
I got you.
In the second one, it's implied that, okay, the Skynet never exists anymore.
Let's see here. Hey, Clobberin, I got to drop it. Are you talking about you're going to be on it? I got to drop. You're going to be on Draco on this channel. See you all around 12:30 Central. So you're going to be on at 12:30. Okay, man. Thanks for being here, Cardinal. I do appreciate it. We're about to wrap it up in a second. Let's see. I never can pronounce this great gentleman's name. One thing I watched recently and hated was Valerian. I actually watched that a while back. I expected to love it because I really enjoyed Fifth Element. Oh, there's one that I don't like that most people do. The same director put this. It was the same director. Yeah, it was Luc Besson. Put this, but this was also about. Yeah, that's based on some really classic old French comics from the 60s and 70s and things like that. And I didn't think much of the film either. I was never big on Fifth Element. I didn't like it when it first came out. And then
I'm neutral on it. I'm not. I don't hate it or anything. I'm never really like. I'll watch it if it's on.
Yeah.
Or someone else wants to watch it, but I'm never gonna go out of my way to watch the movie like I would with others, like The Matrix or something.
A buddy of mine and I hated it when we walked out of the theater, and then a few years later, I started when I was going to cons. Everyone was cosplaying it, and you would think it's the greatest movie ever made. There are people that just love it, and I don't get it.
Visuals from the early on in the film, where you have Bruce Willis's like apartment and the city and everything. I like the visuals there. That's for sure.
It was visually nice. I just thought it was a total movie.
Design, the cars and everything. That was really cool. But,
yeah. I've really never sat all the way through it.
For me to go and watch a film. That's just for me a good reason for me to I'm going to take this movie still from that scene or whatever, so I can use it for inspiration of something on my own.
Well, I haven't sat all the way through it since that one time in the theater, but every now and then, like if I flipped on cable or here and whatever over the years and saw it, I'd sit and watch parts, and I'm more well disposed toward it now. I don't really have any severe hatred of it or anything. If
it's on, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
Time travel was overused. Still, I haven't watched it. Well, don't watch the new Terminator movie.
And I don't think I will.
If I was just even in just a normie and I'd gone to see that stupid crap, Terminator movie, let's go watch that. And I walked into the theater as someone who liked, because I really do like T2. And I see, as annoying as Eddie Furlong is, I still like the movie. But if I see the first couple of minutes, and I didn't know about this.
Oh, yeah, the opening act.
I'm walking out.
Terminator.
I'm walking out right there. It was bad enough when we saw if I'd seen the clips of, Linda Hamilton looking like Hillary Clinton. That's bad enough.
Oh, God, yeah. That
was horrible. But if I didn't know any better, and then I go in and I see them kill John, I'm out of there. I'm like, go screw yourself.
This is actually a good. Okay, Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. I like it because it's a self-parody.
I didn't hate that movie that much. I mean, a lot of people do. I thought it was so okay.
A lot of people seem to hate it, and for good reason. But to me, it's not a good Terminator movie. It's a self-parody because that really is what it is. It's a self-parody. It's just it's humorous instead of action and because Terminator was a sci-fi horror originally. The first one's a sci-fi horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Harlan Ellison sued him over it too. He sued him for ripping him off.
So when you have the whole Terminator talk to the hand and stuff, he gets the clothes from the it's silly and ridiculous, and it's just clearly making fun of the first two movies, but in a way that I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say tasteful, but definitely a parody for sure. Yeah.
Well, let's see here. I like T3, especially the ending.
And that's the other thing too is they fail the war. They fail the war, and it just everyone gets nuked anyways.
I didn't really like the kid that much in it. I mean, I like the girls, but I didn't like the kid. But it was okay. I mean, certainly.
I didn't mind the actor that played John Connor. I just didn't like the writing for him.
It was It was way better than that. I couldn't stand the other one. Was it the Christian Bale one?
That movie had so many
But-
behind the scenes issues. That's the film that had the whole
Salvation.
good for you.
Yeah, I hated
that whole like voice
right.
recording of Christian Bale
Yeah,
and his shit.
it's bad, but it's a masterpiece compared to Terminator. Jim Weiss's
Terminator Salvation is amazing.
Yeah, but
The use of miniatures and the special effects are amazing. The story and
it sucks.
And writing is horrible.
Yeah, but see, even though it sucks, it's a masterpiece compared to Terminator Jim Weiss's, which is one of the most unbelievably bad pieces of shit I've ever seen.
It's sad, but it's true.
I mean, a stupid friend of mine brought it over when that came out on DVD or whatever. You want to watch this? I go, not particularly, but what the hell?
I actually had the idiocy to rent it because I was curious about the film.
Sucks.
Yeah.
And you know, this is one of those movies. I like a good turn your brain off and have a little fun movie, like they say. It's fine. This is one of those movies where it turns your brain off immediately for you, and you can't jump start it back again. And you, after it's over, and someone says, "So,
oh no, see, I
had to just watch
my brain on, but that's because
it's bad."
As I'm watching, I keep finding issues wrong with the film.
It kills.
So
well, it just. I mean, I'm sitting there numb. I'm like, I can't. I don't think I'm alive. I think I'm dead. This movie is so goddamn stupid. And when it was over, if you'd say, "So, what did you not like about the movie, guy?" I would go, I don't know. I just forgot all of it.
And it was in the trailer. That was horrible.
I just forgot everything that happened, so I don't know. I think they wipe your memory of any emotions before you leave that movie if you went to the theater. I don't know, man. I just fucking hate it. Zero liked Chris Tucker in the Filth Element. Yeah, he was funny. I mean, I like him. I liked him better than Rush Hour for some reason.
Well,
Terminator TV show was fantastic.
Why am I blanking on his name again? Richard Pryor was good in Superman 3.
Was he though? I love Richard Pryor, but was he really?
that was
Robert Vaughn wasn't even a good
funny movie. That was like that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny.
See, I can't put it on the hate list. I'm one of those that hates Superman too.
I can't put it on the hate list either, even though it's a bad because I love Superman. Yeah, it's a bad Superman movie and it's a bad movie, but it's just so damn funny.
Superman is bad, he kept saying. Yeah, unfortunately, so is this movie. But you know what? I hate
you have Superman fighting Clark Kent.
I actually hate Superman 2 more. The Superman 2 was ridiculous, and it had a good story set up that they ruined. Superman 3 didn't have a good story to begin with. It was moronic from the start. So was Superman 4. So there was no salvaging that shit. You know, it was originally supposed to be Eddie Murphy, or they talked about putting him in there. They actually talked about putting him in Star Trek 4 as well. So, God, Richard Pryor, man. I remember when we first heard it was going to be Richard Pryor. It's like, you've got to be shitting me. And like dumbasses,
maybe
buddy, we went to see it.
Like Superman shows up with Lois and they're at a Richard Pryor stand up on a date. That maybe that was the original intent. I don't know.
Yeah, he did date her. Richard Pryor did date Margot Kidder. So,
NM whatever asks, can you explain why you hated Superman 2?
Yes. We talked a little bit. I think I talked to Loki about this last night. In Superman 2. The Alexander and Ilya Salkinds, the people who own the Superman film rights, when they, much like they did with the two movies called Three Musketeers and Four Musketeers, Superman 2, they tried to film two movies at once. They tried to get Richard Donner and the actors to make two movies. See, Superman 2 was filmed at the same time as Superman 1 was. And they tried to make two films and then split them off into two movies. Well, Donner got wise to it and had a fit. He left. He directed some parts of Superman 2, but not all of it. So they come along later, and when after Superman 1 is such a huge hit, I saw it 18 times in the theater in 1978. I love it with a passion to this day. And when they finally go to finish up Superman 2, they hire a director named Richard Lester, who had directed Beatles movies and things like that. And they made the movie so campy and so goddamn stupid. Richard Donner. I do like the Donner cut of Superman 2, although it has its flaws. It's kind of rough. The Donner cut makes it a little more palpable, but Superman 2 with the Richard Lester cut in the theater when I saw it in 1981 as a kid, I wouldn't let myself admit that I hated it. With the first night, I had to go back again the next couple of days and see it a couple of times, and it just made me more and more angry. The camp, the dumb, the really sloppy effects, the son of a really bad, some of the just absolutely horrific writing. I just think the movie's a shitty camp fest. I was a kid of about, I was about maybe like I was 16, 17 at the time, and it pisses me off every time I see how goofy and stupid it is. It's cornball crap. Whereas the first one treated the character with respect. Yes, there's a little camp with Otis. Yeah, I get that with the way they handle Luthor a little bit, but it still treats the character with respect. Superman 2 didn't do that. So Donner, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this, but about back around 2005 or 6, whatever it was, they came out with a Superman 2 Donner cut where Richard Donner was able to go back and fix some things with it and put out his version of it. And he put changes that, because there were some changes. So that's the long of it there. Over the years, I've softened a little bit, but I prefer the Donner cut. And I still maintain some of that anger of the disappointment that I, went through in 1981 as a kid, the trauma of a geek, if you will. So I hope that answers your question. And look, I do, again, we were talking earlier about movies that most people like, but you don't. It's not on my list coming up, but that's one that generally people like a lot, but not me. So let's see what Mark with C says.
Personally, I just prefer Superman 1.
Oh yeah, Superman the movie. It's it's my second all-time favorite movie after Empire Strikes Back. Seeing Superman 2 in the theater as a young kid was amazing, but they did screw Donner. They screwed Donner big time, man. The Salkind screwed everybody. Let's see here. Next good question. Not a movie, but do you like the Adam West Batman?
Yeah, there is a Adam West Batman movie.
Yeah, there is actually there is a movie.
There was a movie.
Without the Adam West Batman TV show, none of us will be sitting here tonight, at least on this show, because at the age of just south of 2 years old, that's how old I am. The series aired, and because of it, the first word I can say, according to my parents, was Batman, and at least that I wanted to say. And I was running around singing the song with wearing a towel, being Batman, and I fell in love with that show. It was my gateway drug to geekness. I met Adam West a few times.
The iteration of the theme song done by The Who?
No.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Who fan, and the Who did a version of the Batman theme song, the Adam West Batman theme song.
I'll dig that up because I've heard a lot of different versions of it.
It's really good.
I met Adam West a couple of times, but actually, Manda was right. In conjunction with the release of the series, they actually did a film. It was called Batman, strangely enough. It was 1966,
yep.
And it was it had the 4 villains in it, of course. And Catwoman, unlike the series, who Julie Newmar played her, whom I got to meet once, Lee Merriweather played Catwoman in that movie. So there is actually a Batman, and not only that, it's on Blu-ray, but it's separate because it's owned by a different company. So you can get Batman. Have you ever seen Batman the movie? It says with Adam West and Burt Ward, and I've watched it a billion times. I love it.
Yeah, I've watched the movie so many times. I
saw it in theaters. They brought it back to the theater in the 70s.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
When I met Adam West in 1985 at the World of Wheels, he and Burt Ward were in costume, and I asked him to say that line on tape for me. I wish I could find it.
Sometimes you can't get rid. Some days.
Yeah, I said, can you say your favorite line from the movie? I know you know what it is. And he was kind of forgetting. And I said, I started it off. I said, some days. And he goes, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. That's how he said it. Oh, my God. And that wonderful voice.
I remember when I first, because to me, like, I grew up with the, with that show in conjunction with, like, some of the animated series stuff. So, like, I knew what I had my father's like Dark Knight Detective comics and stuff from the 80s. So I knew what Batman actually was in the comics versus the TV show and the cartoon. So it was I just loved the hell out of that movie.
Well, does people closer to my age range went through something that I call. And by the way, in if I may call you in, I campy doesn't bother me. It's just that for Superman that movie, I thought it didn't work. But and the David and Leslie Newman script, I thought was really terrible. But with the Batman TV show, it worked. But I went through what you call the 3 stages of Batman, and a lot of people in my generation did, and it was this. That was, of course, that show was how I got into, and that and other cartoons is how I got into superheroes way before I knew what a comic book was or could even read one. And here, I went through these stages of Batman, man. This is what was basically, it was this. First of all, when you're a young child, the Adam Westward Batman TV show is deadly serious. It is the gospel. It is real life stuff, and it was my favorite thing in the world.
Okay,
then,
I'm sharing it. The scene.
Huh?
I'm sharing the scene. You can't.
Oh, cool. Okay, I will definitely check it. Then, we'll get to it in a second. I got to tell you about.
I'm not sharing audio just because I don't want to. Like, I'm not. If this was my channel, I wouldn't care audio, whatever. You know, I don't care what I show, but. You know,
but I'll definitely go watch it after this because I want to hear it. The 3 stages of Batman work like this. When you're a child, the Batman TV show is gospel. When you get into your close to your teens and into your teens, and you discover comic books, and you discover the O'Neil Adams Batman and the Marshall Rogers, the Steve Englehart Marshall Rogers definitive Batman and the Dark Knight Detective Batman. You say, oh, that show made fun of Batman. The hell with that. I hate it. Batman's serious. And I went through my serious stage with him. And then there's number 3. Wait a minute. There's number 3. Number 3 is this.
I can't remember which I saw first. The 66 show?
There's number 3 yet.
Or the comics. I genuinely don't remember.
Well,
I know that I saw each of them at very young ages. So it's like.
But the stage 3 I haven't got to yet, though. Stage 3 is important. Stage 3, and I'm not the only one who's ever said this. When I'm talking to people, okay, remember, stage 1, it's the campy show is real. Stage 2, that was campy bullshit, and then the Batman Dark Knight Detective is real because it's really what his origins are. It's really what he's supposed to be. Yep. Then stage 3 is you get older into your young adulthood, and you realize 2 things. It's true. Batman is supposed to be the Dark Knight Detective as originally conceptualized, and as he usually is. In stage 3, but the show is hilarious. It's funny, and just as you can laugh at yourself in life and make jokes, Batman can have sort of a spoof show because it was based on comics that were kind of like that at the time, and you could love it out of your childhood. So you can love Batman in all phases.
Batman in the 60s and 70s did go through a bit of a camp. He went through some campiness in the comics as well. So. It's fitting for and it's just so much fun. Like sometimes you just gotta have fun.
I love it.
You know, you can't just have like the serious. Look, my favorite version of Batman is always going to be the detective. You know,
but the show's great.
The guy, like, exactly. But here it just. Oh, hold on, let me just. Because it's just so. It's ridiculous. Also, the fact that like everything's labeled in this show. When you're in the Batcave, everything has a label on it, like all the machines, atomic generator, EMP device. Bat
this, bat that. Oh, it's just hilarious. So, let's see what we have here before we get out of here. I love this. You're making me want to go watch this again.
At the end of the day, that's what's important, is that you have to know how to have fun.
You're making me want to go watch this again, man. Let's see what you're saying here.
Do you remember what the submarine looked like?
Oh, God, yeah, the Penguin submarine.
The little paddling feet.
I also remember when he called the general, the admiral, and asked him who he sold the submarine. He sold it to a man named P.N. Gwynn.
Right.
God love it. Let's see here.
Yo, Batman, the Penguin.
Oh, yeah, Blu-ray collection of 66 Batman is great to watch. Dude, yeah, absolutely. Special features. Got a lot of great stuff. Like I said, the movie's not on there, though. You got to get the movie separate, but it's cheap, like, $5-6.
That's a good watch. And Catwoman in that movie.
Oh, my God. Lee Merriweather, are you kidding me? Man. And I love the color. Yeah. Let's see here. Spider-Man 66 cartoon and the Batman TV show were the best things to watch as a kid growing up. I concur. Those are how I got introduced to both of those characters. I also love the Filmation Superman and Superboy cartoons. I'm a big Superboy fan. We're going to be doing Legion of Superheroes this week. Again, another show about that again. And yes, the Fantastic Four cartoons, how I got there. Look, TV was my gateway drug to all my favorite things, superheroes and all that stuff. That's how I got into comics, man. And back then, that's how you did. Because, you know, when you're a year, 2, 3 years old, no one's giving you comic books that much that I know of. Maybe not me.
First of all, it involves reading, which, I mean, I was able to read at that time. But, you know, I can't say the same for everyone.
Oh, no, I was 33 before I could read.
Right.
But
there you
I
go.
could look at the pictures. Maybe 43, I don't know. Batman got me to wear a seatbelt. I remember him yelling at Robin not putting a seatbelt in the Batmobile. Oh, God. Remember, one of my favorites was when he was fighting the bookworm, and he stopped all of them before the fight started because they were wearing glasses, and he said, wait. Take off your glasses. And he said, remember, Robin, never hit a man with glasses. Roddy McDowell.
That's right, old chum.
Old chum. Love the show. So, yeah, camp is great, but I just thought it was kind of at that point, it was worked on that show. And again, one of the things, look, I love Batman animated series. In my opinion, it's the best use of Batman maybe ever because of the short story format he works so well on. But I'll tell you this, Mando, the child in me loves almost equally a show called Batman Brave and the Bold, which makes me happy. It's my happy place.
That is a good show. That is a good show.
Oh, I love it. But it's closer
to
the Adam West Batman show.
But it's pretty much like a whole universe of that 66.
Oh, God. It's right out of the 60s.
It's like it's Batman, but then you have the rest of the DC universe to tag along.
Including very obscure. And not only that, he met Space Ghost, dude. I mean, look how cool is that?
I think that show was how I got introduced to the character of Blue Beetle.
Really? The newer iteration? You know, that show made me not... made me not mind him so much.
Not Ted Cord.
Yeah, the Jaime Reyes. That show made me not mind him so much.
I always thought, like, because... keep in mind, I was always like a Marvel guy before maybe age of 9.
Yeah.
So
I love that show.
You know, like I knew of Batman, I knew of the big names, I knew of the Justice League, I knew of some of the even the obscure characters of the Justice League, through the animated show, the cartoons from the animated universe. But until that show, that was really when I got introduced to all of the characters, like all the non-main versions, like, you know, all the different Green Lanterns, not just Hal and John.
Yep. Well, I love Hal the best, but I hear you there. Well, everyone, I got to get moving here. We've got to get running because we've been on for a long time, and I just want to thank everyone for being here. I want to say a special thank you to my buddy Mando Merck for popping in. It's been a while, my friend, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me, man, because it's always good to have someone to hang and shoot it with, you know. And I really did, and I hope we will do it again soon, dude, when I do one of these openers. Usually I like to do it like this. Like now again, I have nothing against people doing like 3, 4, and 5 people on a panel, but usually if I got one, I like doing a one-on-one thing like this, like you and I are doing, like Loki and I did last night. But other times, multiple people, of course, I love that too. But I always think
you feel during that when you're doing the show.
Say again.
It just feels, I guess, what do you feel when you're just doing the show? You know, sometimes.
Yeah. I
want to have a whole panel versus sometimes, I just want to talk to one person.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been wanting to get get a one-on-one with you for a while there, and stuff like that. But other times I get more. I like having the panels too. Now, I'm on the panel with Loki on Tuesday nights with us, and we have a blast doing that. So, and of course, I got more open ones coming up. Well, everyone, before I say my goodbyes here, I want to say again a big thank you to my good buddy Mando Mark. He did put a link in, and he can put another if he wants in the chat. If you have not, please go subscribe to his channel. He's a great dude, and he is very nice to come and hang out with this old man tonight, talking some geekness. And I want to say Thursday night, my great buddy Flash from the old Blog Talk Radio days and I will be teaming up to count down our top or bottom, 25 most hated movies. We will have fun yelling and screaming.
The best of the worst, or would this just be the worst of the worst?
Is the worst of the worst of the worst, at least in our opinion, anyway. And here's the thing about that, by the way. Mine's going to be so stupid and geeky. It's going to be like mine's going to be predictable. It's going to be comic book crap and some other genre films. His will be very interesting because he loves comics and stuff. Don't get me wrong. We don't agree on a lot of things, and his list will be a lot of more obscura. So it won't just be one geeking out. He will have a lot of movies on there. Some of you might not even know of. He's that good, and he's a great dude. So it will be a lot of fun because this will be that word we love so much, my friends. Diversity. A lot of diversity in our list there. So I'm looking forward to that. But Saturday night, Carlos.
Forced or natural?
Huh?
Forced or natural diversity?
Yeah, this won't be forced. It'll be completely organic. Maybe organic. Who knows?
When I say unadulterated in my little ad there for myself, yeah, I'm not kidding. Starting Thursday, I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk. I am not going to be turning the censorship mode on.
Nice.
I want to experience the game as the devs want me to experience it. You know.
There you go. I know you're looking forward to that.
Myself, and as an artist, I want you want sometimes when you create something, you want people to experience it in a certain way. And I don't, if you're doing something to edit that experience just so that you can, so YouTube doesn't do this or whatever, you're not getting that full experience that the creators want you to have. So I say screw YouTube censorship things. I'll just turn the video to 18 and up. And
okay, good. Well,
do it, man. You get all the nudity fun. Okay.
Everyone, please.
Actually, I mean, you will, but that's.
I know you're looking forward to it, so I'm glad you got something cool to look forward to. I hope you enjoy that.
Best Hanukkah gift ever.
Saturday nights, which is kind of my big regular night where I do usually comic stuff, some other geek stuff too, but a lot of comics. The Saturday night topic, everyone, will be Carlos joining me again. You all know him; he's been here for a while, and we will be talking about something that we love dearly. Anyway, a few of us fans of the Legion of Superheroes are left. We did it a couple of weeks back. And we'll be talking Legion of Superheroes again. This time we'll talk about our top 10 favorite Legionnaires and other stuff, other facets of Legion as well.
Okay, I definitely got to tune in for that.
And have you read some Legion in your time?
Yeah. I have. I recently got a volume pack of original Legions.
Nice, man.
Original Legion stuff, and then I got a volume pack of I think it was an Elseworlds Legion thing where it's like, what if Superman, or rather like Superboy, like original Superman, was didn't actually go to he was never Superman in normal timeline. He became Superboy in the Legion timeline. I
think that's called Superboy's Legion. I love that.
Right.
Yeah. By Alan Dave. Great art.
It was really good.
Great art. Love that one. So Legion, of course, and I'm old school Legion. I'm Silver and Bronze Age all the way. I don't like any of the modern stuff, but we'll be doing that, and then of course back with more stuff next week. So thank you all so much again. Big thanks to Amanda.
We should definitely do a one-on-one again regarding that I Am Not Starfire thing, because oh my god,
hell yeah, dude! Anytime you think of one that's cool to talk about, let's do it. Again, big shout out and thanks to Mr. Mando, Mark, and everyone, and also to you wonderful friends who are here in the chat tonight. The great Eric K. Master of Wrenches. Thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate it. Mark with a C. Thank you so much. Cardinalson had to run, but thanks to him anyway. Vigilante Williamson joined us earlier. Thank you to him. I know he's gone, but thanks to him anyway. Zero Depressive. It's the first time I see you in here, and I want to thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate you being here. Dude, I have trouble pronouncing it, but I love you, bud. So I appreciate you popping in. Thank you so much. And anyone, Latino Slant, the great Paulie Latino Slant popped in, and that's a great buddy of mine. I know he had to run out, but I thank him. And I thank everyone who was here. If I missed anyone, I am so sorry. But, again, old man's memory, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So, again, big shout out to the great Stone Loki for my wonderful outro that I will play for you now. Good night, all, and have a pleasant tomorrow.